Welcome to Symbaroum. This is a TTRPG system created by Järnringen. It is a dark fantasy gothic sort of spooky stuff in the forest, and there's spirits, and there's these giant stone giants and cursed things, and we are playing this game with our dungeon master, Obdurant. Please take it away.
Yes. Welcome to Symbaroum. Our players will have a better grasp of the setting with each and every session.
Maybe.
I think we're in a forest sometimes.
Yeah, maybe.
Playing The Witcher.
Maybe. But as it stands right now, our party just escaped from the caves and labyrinthine ruins of a sort of a compound beneath some ruins in Symbaroum, and are just again seeing the light of day for the first time in quite a while. So why don't we have Karmeon, who was fairly pivotal in that survival, kind of give a quick recap for what happened last time.
Well, we started with two of us frozen entirely and in no state to save themselves. So Karmeon left and just walked away. And he did that for like a mile and a half. And when he got a mile and a half away, the piece of fabric that they'd ripped off of Mayra's head stopped being frozen. And he was like, okay, well, I guess I have to go back. So then he found a table and broke it. And luckily, the DM decided it was a circular table, so I could roll it, because I hadn't thought of that. And we rolled it back, and I passed the only stealth check I've ever passed in this entire game, which is good. Or we'd have lost the game and I'd have died, I'm sure. Guarantee it. Then we got back, and then we strapped Mayra to the table and dragged her away. And then we found like a giant underground cavern in the exact opposite direction. Also, we found a giant underground city full of nobody, hopefully, but that's probably not true. But we went to the giant underground cavern and lake and found that Mayra unfroze herself. So then we were like, that's great. And then we went back. And we secured Pekome and only broke her leg a little. Transported her, unfroze her, and that's when we discovered that they had been in some sort of past circumstances, occupying the bodies of entirely separate people who were related to the artifact that froze them. And they can tell you what happened there. Pekome.
Pekome got to be a noble for the second time in her life. And it was pretty much the same with people above her doing shady things that she wasn't about. And then Stella was in the audience. Tell us about it, Stella.
Mayra watched from afar, in the safety of the crowd. She watched as a strange man approached a platform where some kind of strange ritual was happening. And she got the sense that this was Pekome, and basically was getting ready to flee when she basically was awakened from this vision and found herself in the dark, strapped to a table. That's pretty much all that happened.
Slightly drowning.
That's what Pekome discovered later, and also had a broken leg. So then we climbed up a series of little plateaus and met bat birds.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
No,
description.
It wasn't bat birds. It was some other word combined with bats.
They were hawk bats.
Oh yeah, and then we called them hats. or box.
Because they kept trying to attack your head.
Yeah. And we ably chased them off. And then that's about when we found sunlight again and discovered we were like 10, 20 feet above the forest floor, which is a pretty good place to be
Yes,
if you want to be reaching the forest floor in any time soon.
we basically made it outside. That's a win, maybe. But we're also in the forest, which we've almost
means-
died in repeatedly.
Which means Mayura will unerringly guide us to every undead and ghostly creature in the forest.
Uh-huh. Listen, it's gonna happen at some point. I'm gonna roll a 20, and then I have to roll, like, 2 dice or something, and I'm
It's
gonna
gonna
roll
be
2
double
19s. It's gonna happen.
And then we're gonna convince the liches to somehow fight each other.
Oh my God.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Anyway, as it stands right now, yeah, the sight before you is unfamiliar. Obviously, the trees of Davokar stretch ahead of you, but the landscape is not quite the same as it was when you descended in the ruins. Obviously, you've traveled some distance underground and might take some work to be oriented again. The sun is not quite setting, but it does hang pretty deep into the afternoon right now. And I think as we left off last session, the group of you had really just filed outside of this sort of crack in this stone face. So you're, a little ways up off of the forest floor, and it's kind of in your court where you'd like to go or what you'd like to do right away.
Yeah, we stepped outside expecting sunlight, instead got a credit wall.
I'm
Telling
sorry,
us we
what?
had to wait till next week's episode to be continued.
Oh, credit wall. I see. Yes.
That was a stupid joke.
Thank you.
So when we step outside, do we see that we are on a sort of platform, a cliffside? Is there like a rolling hill?
From what I recall, the description is essentially that you guys are on sort of a fairly steep rocky face, and the ledge that you've stepped out on is only about 1 foot to 1.5 feet wide.
Oh.
Below you is a rather steep descent of some 20 feet that leads back to the forest floor. You can't see all that much to the left and the right because the stone blocks most of the view, but you do get the sense that you're kind of in something of a hill. It would be very rare for there to be any mountains in this particular region of the forest, so.
Wait, 20 feet's not that far down. We fell, what, 50, 60?
We fall into less
And almost
than-
died, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hikome's got our damage reduction from all of her armor. We're fine.
That doesn't mean
What?
you can just land on me to negate the fall.
What time of day is it?
Son.
Late afternoon.
Okay.
Mira will very carefully approach the cliffside to look down. She will try to determine if perhaps she can use climbing gear, if it is suitable enough for this.
Yeah, that's as Meira sort of inspects the situation. It is more or less exactly what climbing gear is for. You're up sort of a rocky slab from the ground, so you can definitely find some anchors. At the very least, in the sort of the entrance of the rock face into this sort of passage that you've come up through.
We go down. Mira announces to the group.
Do you even know where we are?
Mira looks around. It will be difficult to tell unless we find landmarks or
Water
Wa-
would be, yeah.
water.
Yeah, the river?
Hmm.
Weren't we close to where the bend was supposed to be?
We were.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that we could have just headed very far away from the river.
Well, I don't think we headed very far in any direction.
Well. We should perhaps try to go west.
Alright.
The river runs east to west. We will either hit the lake or find part of the river.
Yeah, yeah. Karmeon just kind of sit down on the cliff edge and wait for Naira to make a path down.
Everyone judges her.
Okay, so Maida does have climbing tools. She will utilize these and drive the pittons into the wall and try to make a serviceable aid for her companions to climb down.
Great. Sounds good. Let's see. Okay. Mira can certainly go ahead and set up that climbing gear, and with it, it should be pretty trivial for everyone to get down fairly safely.
Okay. Maida will go down first. And when she gets down to the ground, she's going to scout around and try to see if there are any nearby tracks, if there are signs of activity. Try to get a bearing of any immediate threats in the area.
Sure. All right. Go ahead and hit me with a vigilant roll. I think in this case it could just be flat.
Maida notices everything. Heck yeah. Scraping by.
Excellent.
Success.
The Maira strategy.
So after Mayra touches down on the forest floor and steps away a little wide, it doesn't take too long for her to kind of discern that this particular stretch of woods, sheltered as it is by the rock face that rises behind her, in which, as she kind of heads away, she can see in a more full sense, now that she's not actually a part of it, appears like it's almost been carved out of a much larger hill. And due to that notch, this stretch of forest is kind of tucked in almost like the mouth of a valley, although there's nothing else to go into. All which is to say that there isn't really any traffic nearby. Anything that would have come into this portion of the forest would have come in really for no particular reason. And there are no fresh tracks of any sort.
Then Maida will just supervise the others as they make their way down.
Pekome will go last.
Karmeon probably tries to argue the point for like 5 seconds and then just stops, stares at the unornamented metal that makes up Pekome's general face to the world, and then just starts climbing down.
Okay. With the aid of the climbing gear, you don't need to make a roll or anything. You'll be fine.
Okay.
Once everyone's down on the ground, Maida will suggest that we should make camp here. Nothing has gone through the area, so it is safe.
Yeah?
DM,
Mm-hmm.
How bad is my leg?
It is very bad.
Okay. Hmm. How bad is the climb?
Well, the climb is, if you're using the rope, it's going to be very strenuous with all the extra weight that Poikome kind of lugs around. But it isn't really, there's no like climbing moves that she needs to pull. She's just kind of guiding herself down with the rope. It's more of a rappel, minus any, thing useful like a harness or so. But I mean, she can keep her leg pretty well away from the rock, so it doesn't really affect it too much.
So it's just gonna suck when I get off.
Yep.
Pekome eventually makes it to the bottom and regroups.
Sure. Great. Sounds good. And what did the three of you end up doing once you're successfully off the wall?
Like
Meira.
my limps.
Meira will help Pekome remove armor and burdens so that
She refuses.
Meira doesn't bother. And she will go and begin to set up camp, gather...
We're at, like, what, 2 days of rations left, I think?
Yeah, who's carrying those?
I think they're split up, like, you're carrying...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're definitely running low on supplies.
On surprise. No, that's our
Not wanting
best
to
element.
So yeah, we're out of herbal cures as far as things Karmeon's carrying, and definitely.
We still have antidotes.
Yeah,
Are
low on.
those
I
sustenance?
have 2 on rations, so yeah.
Do you want
Okay.
some firewood?
Karmeon.
Karmeon, 0 firewood. Yeah.
Build a fire. I will see if there's anything to hunt nearby.
Okay, yeah. And Karmeon will set to gathering wood.
Pekome is just gonna hand him her firewood.
Karmeon starts making a nice aerated pyramid.
She's also gonna give him back his last eyedropper.
Oh, thanks. Karmeon tucks that away.
Okay.
So Meira will shrug off her pack and gather her bow, her arrows, knife, and she will trek off into the wilderness in search of game.
Absolutely. How far is she kind of willing to head out?
Could we hear you if you screamed?
Oh my god. Okay, within screaming distance. That's a
Within
great
screaming distance.
That's a great measurement there. Probably like 15-20 minutes away maximum. She'll basically like wander over to like the thick of whatever area she can find and try to find signs of life and game from there on, and then head in whatever direction she needs to.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, so as Meira starts to head out into the forest, it's clear that there's kind of a depression that leads up towards this notch in the hill where the three of you have come back out into Davokar. So she kind of climbs the depression and reaches the forest proper. This underbrush becomes a little more dense. There's more foliage about. And around there, you can start trying to see whether you can pick up the tracks of anything. So go ahead and roll Vigilant. Let's see.
Meira is very hungry, so she is extra vigilant.
Or she keeps thinking about her stomach and looking away.
No, don't say that. Don't give the DM ideas.
All right. Yeah, you can just roll it flat right now. Let's see.
Oh,
How you do.
I think I was right.
Okay.
Worst possible roll.
Well, not yet. You have to roll again, and then it's the worst possible
Oh
roll.
my god, oh my god, oh my
Yeah,
god.
go ahead and confirm. All right, well, there you go.
Ooh, good. Good work. You were almost went out of screaming distance.
Mm,
All right.
perhaps
So,
Neira
Mayra-
is too hungry.
Kind of, yeah, with gnawing hunger, begins searching about for tracks. And there are a couple false starts. There's something that looks like a series of claw-like furrows that, who knows, maybe it's prey. So she starts to hunt along, but she loses the tracks. And there are a few other similar instances, and it takes a considerable amount of time. Now, in the midst of this, I'd like you to roll discreet to see just how subtle Mayra is about kind of exploring the forest alone and looking for prey.
Meira is quiet as a mouse. Oh,
Okay. She does seem to be. So it was late afternoon when Mayra set out. She probably spends somewhere in the order of an hour and a half to 2 hours searching for food. But she comes back empty-handed.
when Meira returns to camp, she does not meet their eyes. Instead, she goes to the fire, sits down, grabs a stick. She starts digging a tiny hole with the stick, looking very sullen.
So did you get the food?
Mm. How bad is your leg?
Pekame has just been sitting against a tree for the past hour. She turns slightly towards Mayra and just kind of grunts. It's a much better than it was yesterday, but not good.
Mm. Perhaps.
We'll try a new splint tomorrow, but you're gonna need to rest. What? Not now. When we get back.
At this moment, she realizes something.
What is she
The
realize?
horses are pretty screwed, huh?
We left them with a couple days' food, so if we could find, but yeah.
Mm. The horses have more food than we do.
That's because I bought their food.
Yeah, we should try and find them.
First, we must discover where we are, and then.
Try and find us.
Precisely.
Hopefully, we're not around more elves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, get some rest, and we head west. And Meira is going to go to bed hungry.
Does she
You
go
do
to
have
sleep
a couple
first?
rations left as a group, don't you?
Meira stuffs her face with one of the rations and then goes to bed.
Okay. Excellent.
Karmeon, likewise, at least, eats his share of a day's worth of rations. And do I take the first watch?
You know you take the middle watch.
If we looked into having a fourth person along, we could take turns not having a watch at all.
Go to sleep, Karmeon.
Meira snoring in the background.
Karmeon settles into taking the first of his 2 naps.
And that leaves Pekome up. Pekome, as the night wears on, what do you do with this fire that the 3 of you started? Is it just going?
Once it starts to get a bit dark and the other 2 are passed out, she's gonna put out the fire.
Okay, cool. And is she just kind of keeping an ear out for the sound of anything, trying to see if anything comes close enough for her to spot?
Yeah, she's limiting her movement. She's not really patrolling, but she is like looking around and
Trying to
listening.
stay aware. Gotcha. Sounds good. Go ahead and roll a vigilant at, I'd say probably -2.
Can we make it -3? Because then it's my favorite number.
I'm afraid not. I mean, you could, if especially distracted, I suppose.
Oof.
Look, if I was gonna fail anyway, at least I could have failed with my favorite number.
Fair.
Hmm.
Okay, so the night, passes slowly. It's boring. Watch duty's never something that's particularly interesting. At least, hopefully not.
The night is long and full of errors.
Oh dear.
So many errors.
It's an awful lot of bad jokes y'all are fitting into these first 20 minutes. But Pekome doesn't notice anything really at all. There's nothing that sounds particularly unusual, save perhaps the sound of Karmeon's snoring.
And also apparently Mayura's.
Hmm.
Yeah. Really, perhaps the only assurance that you have that nothing has noticed you is that there's no way anything would not have noticed you and come to investigate so far. Anyway, we get through to the point where she hands off the watch to Karmeon. Karmeon's observance will be similarly quiet, and soon enough it'll be fading into the morning when Mayra would be taking over.
Hmm.
At which point, a necrolich appears.
Oh god.
No doubt.
Maida, when it is her turn to take watch, she will do a sweeping perimeter around the area and make sure that there's nothing stirring that shouldn't be.
Yeah, you can go right ahead and roll vigilant to see how she does with that.
Maida.
It'll be at just -1
Ugh.
for the sake of the darkness.
Ugh. Okay. Maida can see things with her eyes. Oof. Yeah.
She can, in fact. She can see a lot of things with her eyes. And in these kind of pre-dawn hours, nothing seems to be particularly amiss. There's a bit of movement in the foliage here or there as something small scampers along. You see a couple birds through the treetops.
Do they look
But
like
there's nothing-
birds that could be eaten?
They look pretty small,
Hmm.
but, needs must.
Do they look like birds that are also part bat?
No, they do not. They look like
That is actually a
fairly
very
small-
good question.
fairly small birds.
Maida will take a shot at one, just to see.
Okay.
Why
yeah,
not?
Does she
absolutely.
shoot straight
Absolutely.
up or at an angle?
Listen, I don't need to define that because Maida knows what she's doing. Okay, Stella
Unless
doesn't
you roll
know.
a 20, in which case you shot straight up.
So this would be pretty challenging. So you go ahead and test your accurate against I'd say -3.
Hmm. Ooh.
Very well done. Mayor sort of hunkers down a little bit and waits for a couple of the birds to land on a branch of a tree, maybe 10 yards away. And as soon as they have more or less settled, she's able to kind of knock an arrow and let fly, and it does catch the plumpest of the fairly small birds and carries it clean off the limb where it falls to the forest floor. And she has a heartier meal now than she might have been expecting to. But the rest of the watch is quiet. There isn't too much going on any other front.
Maida will. There's no fire. Awkward.
Indeed not.
Maida will stoke the fire back to life, cook the bird, eat the bird, and after the bird is gone, she will wake everyone up.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Pekame wakes up to the smell of cooked food.
The fading smell of good food, it seems.
Yes. But she's relatively aware that something was cooked.
Karmeon wakes up.
Okay.
And-
So as the three of you kind of gather in the morning, you've kind of got to chart a plan for the day. Where you want to go, what you want to try to find out, what you want to try to do.
Well, so the way that Maeda is kind of piecing this out is that we know we went very east to get here, and the lake, which is way more west than we actually want to be, but eventually we head west enough, we'll find something because it's such a large landmark.
I mean, the easiest thing to do if we want to find safe landmarks is just head straight south.
Get out of the forest immediately and then go along the edge.
Yeah.
Maeda would know this. Stella might not know this, but Maeda, when she said west, she actually said south.
But does Mayra prefer to travel within the forest she knows, or avoid the lands she doesn't really?
Oh, hell no. Maeda is a coward. She wants the quickest way out of here, and actually south makes a lot more sense. So we're gonna...
Shouldn't we find the... You sure we can't find the horses?
We will try that first, but if that fails, we must head south.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
We could always head south first, get our bearings, and then head back north once we know we're close to where the bend would be.
I don't think we've got the supplies for that.
We could stop off in a town on the way.
There are not many towns here. The forest is a dangerous place.
That's why I said we'd leave the forest.
Oh, okay. So, I suppose
Also,
trying to find the river will help us find the horses. Because we literally just have no idea where we are.
Yeah, that is certainly reasonable.
all right, here's what we do. We're gonna chuck Mayra into the air, so that way she can look around and tell us where landmarks are. She looks small and throwable.
Listen, Karmeon is shorter than Maeda.
Yes.
Yeah, but out of the two, who would be more wiry?
Definitely Maeda. Alright. Would Maeda know a way to find water?
Find animals?
Yeah, she tried that.
There isn't really any bushcraft that she can call upon that will just point her nearest to the water. She
Yeah.
knows, in a general sense, water does sort of gather on lower terrain, just by nature of, how water works. But that's about it. And honestly, the land itself is difficult to parse the terrain because you're in a forest. Sightlines aren't really great.
Yeah.
There are a lot of obstructions here or there. You have a general sense of north, south, east, and west, but not much more.
It's okay. She was trained at a young age to make and use dowsing rods.
So Maeda will actually lead them kind of southwest-ish.
Okay, great.
And she will try to keep an ear out for the sound of water.
Uh-huh. Okay. Go ahead and roll discreet for how well you're able to sort of quietly shepherd your entourage along.
Okay.
Keep in mind, Fekome is gonna have a really hard time moving through the forest.
Yeah, that's a great point. Go ahead and roll discreet -1 to see how well you do.
The minus
You are
one did
too
not matter.
loud, Pekome.
Well, someone broke my leg.
Drag
Okay.
your foot lighter.
All right, so you are certainly going to have an encounter along the way.
Oh,
God.
no.
Please, Mayra.
So go
I
right
can't
ahead
run. Do not summon a ghost.
and roll. Sorry, I just need to magnify this page a little bit.
Or 1d20.
Yeah, hit me with a 1d20.
All right, chat. Please think small numbers. I want you to close your eyes and imagine the number 1. Only 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Whatever number gets us
I mean,
barbarian.
11 is different than 1. You might have ever done it there.
14, I don't think that's a ghost.
Oh, that's not a 1.
That
it
is
more
not
cultist?
a 1.
It's 1-4.
Okay. Let me just pull this page up real fast here. So perhaps an hour and a half into your travels, you do find that the terrain is leading down somewhat. This section of forest is quite rocky. There are boulders almost everywhere, but they're so densely covered over with moss here and just trees splitting the stone there that it's not impassable. It's just very difficult to keep sight of everything, and especially when you have an armored Ambrian knight who's partially disabled at the moment. Very hard to traverse it quietly. And a couple hours in, as the sun is, approaching the noon-like height, you hear a very distinctive set of cawing from above. Excuse me.
Oh, nice. More birds. You know what that means?
Mhm.
Lunch. Or death.
Yeah.
How do you feel about bird people?
And above the foliage of the trees, the canopy is fairly sparse. The trees here are not so dense that it blocks out the sky by any means. But you see a rather huge flock of large crow-like birds passing overhead, and a number of them seem to spot you, and they begin to shriek very loudly amongst each other, and they spiral down towards the group of you. Mayra, you certainly know that these are vilings. There are a number of legends about these creatures. They are often perceived as a terribly bad omen.
Oh no.
Sometimes they decide to hunt living prey, but there are kind of legends that they have joined together and attacked entire settlements. Sometimes they are, the heralds of far worse things in the forests to come. But for whatever reason, this cluster of, it looks like 5 or maybe more, are swarming down towards the 3 of you. You do have a couple seconds to prepare yourselves, though.
You said vilelings?
Violings, like violin,
Okay.
but with a G at the end.
Not like disgusting.
Correct.
Violings.
Violings.
Violing. No, wait, no. So so it is just violin with a G. With a G. I get you. Violin G.
Did you think I said like violin with a G, but it wasn't for some reason?
Sort of
Okay.
just blocked that out of my head.
All
for
right,
some reason.
I'm glad. It's all right. We're good. We're here. And turn order. Fortunately, they have the same
Pekome
mold.
draws her weapons.
Yeah, absolutely. Karmeon, Mayra, I imagine you might do the same.
Yeah. So, birds like flying in like open spaces.
They also like shiny things.
Sure. Are there any nearby, particularly like not necessarily completely covered spaces, but like thickets where it might be really hard for the birds to maneuver.
A heavy canopy.
Yeah.
The terrain is pretty much as I described. It's sort of boulders that are, ranging from a couple feet high to 12 or 15, with breaches in them. The trees are somewhat spaced out around here, which does not lead towards any really choked areas.
Okay.
It's certainly not like an open field to be
Mhm.
under attack from the birds, but it is not the kind of area that's going to lead them to having too much of an issue.
Okay. Then yeah, Karmeon will just stick close to Pekome and produce his rapier.
Okie dokes.
Mira will draw her bow and knock an arrow. Try to get a quick head count of the
Okay.
vilings.
Yeah, absolutely. You certainly do manage to kind of spot them as they're drawing in those couple seconds. It looks like there are about 5 in this swarm.
Okay.
Yep. And since they go first, oops, oh dear.
And then they're on you.
And then they're on you. They are. And they kind of swarm down towards the 3 of you in a somewhat haphazard mess. All 3 of you have wings beating against you for a moment before they sort of gather more intently around Mayra as it happens.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
This weird pale armor I have. How
Mhm.
shiny is it?
It's not very shiny. It's
It's not a very reflective metal.
yeah, it's not quite matte, but it is definitely not shiny. It's just sort of this sleek, pale metal that is not of any Ambrian make that you're familiar with, for sure.
Sorry, Mayor, I'm not a shiny boy.
You're not a shiny boy. Okay, great. So Mayra, you are under attack, and you'll
Oh.
need to roll to defend at a modifier of -3 twice.
It's okay. Karmeon didn't heal us this morning. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh my god, Karmeon, you had one job! There's only one reason we have you around!
Listen, I might
thought
have
it was-
wasted the rolls if, you guys are
No.
too healthy.
No!
No.
No! Okay, -3. Yo, this is gonna hurt. Oh, this is gonna be
Only
awful.
if you get
Oh,
hit.
this is gonna be awful. This is gonna be awful. This is so...
Look, just dodge it. You're nimble.
Okay. That's not good. Not
You're
good.
correct.
This is not good. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So Varus kind of manages to dodge and curl and avoid some of the beaks that try to rend through her skin, but certainly a number of the vilings do connect, and you are going to take 2 points of damage. Damage.
And
Maida-
start bleeding.
Yes, Maida looks very bad. She is bleeding profusely and looks like she has 3 hit points left.
Wow.
You get the vague general sense, without an exact count, that she's got about exactly 3 hit points.
Man.
Plus
that's,
or minus 0 hit points.
0. She has no temporary health remaining.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty. That makes it Karmeon's turn.
Karmeon thinks about a book
Oh dear.
and then realizes that the book didn't really ever necessarily cover
Fencing with birds.
fencing with aerial opponents at all,
Uh-huh.
much less crossing rapier with beak. and simply strikes out with his rapier in a general upwards fashion.
Okay, fantastic. Wow. All
Wow.
right. So you didn't.
See, by ignoring the book, he's actually learned how to
you
fight.
didn't account the modifier though.
Is it minus
Oh.
5?
It is -5,
So I don't hit?
so you do not hit. I'm
Okay.
afraid.
Oh,
Oh, well.
I'm sorry. That was a really great roll, but you jumped the gun just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they do have a quick of 15, so attacks
Oh
do
my
make go against. Well, their defense, yeah,
Mhm,
-5.
mhm,
That's great. I love that. Karmeon finally lands a hit and it's stolen from him.
mhm, mhm.
But she come close. Yeah, the wind kind of whistles as Karmeon's rapier cleaves through it, but the birds are attuned to rapid movements, certainly. So
Dart away, the
they just
bastards.
spiral around, let out sort of an indignant sound, and are otherwise undisturbed. Hey, Kome, it's all you.
Pekome is going to focus on the birds that are tearing Mayura to pieces.
Yeah, that's all of them.
Yes, those ones. She's going to focus on those.
Okay.
All right. So, -5, you say?
No. Wait, I'm sorry. Yes. That is what I just said. I forgot.
There we go. 3 damage.
Nice. Okay, so you rolled to
Powerful.
-5, and you still connect.
Look, I'm almost as fast as these birds.
Yeah, Pikame is a monster.
Karmeon's as fast as the birds, but he doesn't know how to strike yet.
Okay, so you do manage to catch one of the critters, and you almost sever a wing. It kind of spirals away and is flapping far less forcefully now. Very ear-splitting, kind of piercing shriek results after that clip. But the bird doesn't fall. And Mayura, it is your turn.
All right, kill that one.
Mira pulls back on her bow and she shoots that one. The one that is that.
Okay. Are there any modifiers for doing ranged attacks when you're engaged? I can't remember.
Ah.
I don't believe so.
Only if it's against the ones that... Are they in melee range? All of them are in melee range with me? Oh.
Well, why not
Yeah,
start
they're
with your
kind of
acrobatics
engaged with
check?
you right now.
Okay, yeah, so if something is engaged with me in melee, then yes, I have
It does. Okay.
bad things. Or it's not possible? I think we said it's not possible.
Yeah, I should have taken a quick crash course for
There's
these
like
rolls
a
again.
fighting style or something.
Yeah.
It might be only in the player handbook where you can stab with an arrow.
Yeah, that's an
So,
alternate rule that I recall now.
I do have acrobatics, which means I can roll against quick to avoid quick free attacks.
Yeah, to move without the free attack. Go right
Yeah,
ahead.
just backflip
What's
through a
the
bunch
modifier?
of birds.
The modifier, it's a test against their quick.
Oh no,
Or
sorry,
they're
it's flat. Right, it's supposed to be flat.
Okay.
You're testing your own.
Okay, I
flip.
failed, which means I can choose to do the free attack or not move.
Or stay put, yeah.
Oh, I only have 3 hit points. Okay, I stay. Maida will...
Cower.
Yeah. Is it a free action to curl up into a ball?
Make
Yeah.
yourself look as not as threatening as possible. Bleed harder.
It would just take your movement to like switch your weapon, so
Yeah. Okay, so she's gonna switch to her carrying dagger.
Mhm.
And then she'll just stab one of them. With her
Okay.
carrying dagger.
That's gonna be at -5.
Which means I do get a defense bonus now that I'm using my dagger.
Yeah, and it looks like you connect.
Think. 1 damage.
All right. Great, fantastic. Let me just double check this trait real quickly.
Trait. No. No more acid blood.
No acid blood. You're okay.
Acrobatics, you say?
Master level.
Oh my god.
So the birds are still swarming about Mayra and, to a lesser degree, the other two of you, but they're certainly focused more on her, perhaps due to all the profuse blood that's coming out of her at the moment. So they will continue to hack at her with their beaks. Go ahead and roll to defend at -3 twice, please.
Oh my.
Nice. Okay. Okay. So you take 2 points of damage again, and soak
1 hit point, gang.
4, which is really nice.
Okay, I am at 1 hit point. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the birds continue to swarm around Mayra, and I mean their beaks are everywhere. They are clawing and biting deep furrows into her armor, but it keeps her safe for the most part. But there are a couple that find flesh, and she's in a very ragged state. Karmeon, it is your turn.
Yet again, Karmeon will try.
Do Karmeon and I get advantage for flanking birds by fighting in melee together?
So they are a swarm. They can't really inherently be flanked necessarily.
Stupid swarms.
Yeah.
On
Right.
the upside, if you bring them to half health, they run away.
That's nice. Stab. Oh, I also didn't include the -5.
Okay, well,
Wait, -5 on that would mean you'd have to roll a 1.
yeah.
I know,
mean, you got a
absolutely,
2
like
last
this-
time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's only a 5% chance. He's got it.
Okay, so Karmeon does not manage to connect, and perhaps reflects that the reason the author of the book did not address fighting aerial opponents is that rapiers are not ideal for doing such things. Hey, Kome.
All right. This is what we have actual swords for.
Wow.
All right. She's got to swing again at the clump of birds.
Sounds good. -5.
Hey! Nice 18, Karmeon.
That's not great.
What's the worst that could happen?
I
Death.
blinked when you rolled, and I thought nothing had happened for a second because it's the exact same roll. All right, so Pekome and Karmeon ineffectually swing through the air at these birds, but they're nimble. They're very quick, as Mayra has come to discover.
Mayra,
And,
just don't roll a 20 when you go down.
They're sort of biting her alive. Mayra, it is your turn.
You know why they're going after Maida? Because Maida's a snack. Okay, she's gonna stab
Nice.
again. No, she's
Okay.
gonna
I like
try
how
to
cr-
disengage again.
I like how quickly you tried to move past that joke.
Yes, okay. So, aha. It says to avoid free attacks from enemies. So that means multiple enemies.
Yeah, she can move scot-free right now.
Okay, so she is going to do that. Flee.
Okay.
That uses her movement.
Yep.
And then
And then throw her dagger.
yeah. She'll throw her other dagger? She do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You've
I-
got
that
a
would-
free
that would
hand,
be-
so.
Like an accurate thing, I imagine, right?
Yeah, all of my things are accurate. Oh.
Okay.
Why don't
Yeah,
you use
Mara
daggers
kind
more
of
often?
tumbles away beneath the flock of birds, and well, you go ahead and describe it. You're the one doing it.
Yes. So what you see is Maida, she, gets hit with the 1-2 of the birds just pecking at her from all sides, and her companions are being absolutely useless in the background, and you just see her sort of like crouched close to the ground and like very nimbly she dives like out of the way as one tries to swoop down on her, and she begins to like bolt away, and she does like sort of an anime twisting in the air, and you just see her dagger flick out and collides straight into the throat of one of these creatures. Maybe doesn't kill it right away, but it definitely sprays lots of blood everywhere.
You threw it so perfectly, the dagger is stopping it from being a worse wound. So as long as they don't pull the dagger out, they'll be fine.
Wow. Yeah, fantastic. So that dagger certainly catches one of the swarm and catches it true. And the bird just kind of... It doesn't even have the capacity to scream. It just tumbles out of the air and thuds into the ground near Karmeon's boots.
Hey.
The other bird that was caught earlier by Pekome is kind of spiraling away, and the swarm has thinned somewhat. There are only really 3 about at this point, out of the original 5. They twist around between Karmeon and Pekome and set off after Meira. So she's going to have to make 2 rolls to defend again. And before anyone asks if they were going to, the reason you do not get a free attack when they move is because they have wings, so they can avoid free attacks as they pass overhead.
So if we were to take their wings after the fight, like, would we get to avoid free attacks later?
Only if you could scale them up to a point that allowed you to fly while wearing full scale armor.
Mayura's down.
Is she? Yes. Yes, she is.
Oh,
So the
no.
swarm converges on Meira again, and she slings this throwing dagger out, and it catches one of the vilings, and it tumbles to its death. But the remaining 3 let out these enraged shrieks to see their companion die, and they dart after her, and she's already bleeding from a number of places. And Karmeon and Pekome, you kind of see these just flapping birds with these glistening black wings converge on her, and suddenly her face can't be seen, and there's just this sound as beak tears through, and your companion, Meira, collapses to the forest floor, bleeding from the throat and the eyes and everywhere, really. It's Karmeon's turn.
Karmeon, help her.
Yeah. Karmeon will step through the swarm, stabbing away to try and stand over Meira in a flashily defensive manner.
He calls it the Porcupine Strategy.
Okay. So go ahead and roll. Their defense is still -5, which means you do not connect with the old one.
My party hates me. They wanna see me die and be bird food.
You did say you were going to get masterwork, or master level marksman and kill Karmeon.
Oh my god. You know why these birds are eating me? It's because I ate that tiny defenseless little bird all by myself.
The forest remembers.
Karma, really?
Oh my god.
All right, so Pekome, it is your turn. Karmeon is standing over the prone form of Meira, fighting the last 3 of these creatures.
Okay, I'm back.
Alright. Pikome's gonna charge forward, ignoring the pain in her leg, and just try to cleave through the swarm of birds.
Okay, sure. Give it a roll.
Oh my.
Can I have a +1 for roleplay reasons?
You can't. No, I'm afraid not. Pekome lunges forward, and she's an Ambrian knight, so defending your fellow companions is one of the real paramount lessons that have been hammered into her from birth. But she does have a nearly broken leg, so she lunges forward. She just feels this flash of pain up one side and kind of staggers, and she's unable to connect with these creatures. Meira.
I muted myself, or deafened myself by clicking the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Well, unfortunately, Pekome missed. And it's Mayra's turn.
Look,
Oh.
just roll a 1,
So-
Mayra, and it won't be as bad as it looks.
It is on you to roll a 1d20, I
Okay.
believe.
Chat, think tiny numbers. Itty bitty, 1 pixel, 1, 1, just 1, not 11, 1.
Nothing with a 2 in it. That's all that matters.
Whew.
Oh.
Okay, that's great. That is
That's
so
better.
close.
That's a success.
Yeah, that's a success. No closer steps to death's door right now for Mayra.
Oh.
It is the
Mayra's-
swarm's turn.
She's just taking a nap, y'all.
She's just taking that and bleeding.
Yeah, imagine like a waterbed filled with blood.
Oh,
That's her
ew,
experience right now.
no.
So the crows that remain swarm about Karmeon as he stands over, trying to ward them away from Mayra. And it is now his turn to defend twice at -3. Please.
They made a mistake. They've tried to attack Karmeon.
Of course.
I'm
Without
not
fail.
going- this isn't a confirm. This is to see the other one first.
Okay. Okay.
This will be to confirm.
Yeah. Okay. So you do not get the attack of opportunity,
His porcupine strategy has defended
but
him
you
well.
do nimbly defend against the two.
Carmeon
Quite easily.
dances around on top of what may soon be Mayra's grave. And there are his embroidered woven silk armor has lots of tassels and like just little not straps, but what would you call them, that would hang down just to really distract, especially like anyone who's trying to hit Karmeon as to
Mhm.
what actually would constitute a hit and would not.
Right.
Like they
Yeah,
bite
tassels
a lot of silk.
Good word there.
They're thrown off. They're biting so much silk and none of it has fleshy bits in it. And it's very frustrating.
Yeah, and you can hear their frustration in the cause of these crows as they're well, not crows, sorry, vilings, as they're swarming about, and they don't manage to connect. And it's Karmeon's turn for a rejoinder.
Alright. Karmeon tries stab.
His secret move.
It's super effective.
Hey, you got a 1? There was just a 3 after it.
True.
Very effective.
So as hard as it is to hit Karmeon, it is also hard to be hit by Karmeon, as the long-standing tradition of this campaign has established, which
Well,
makes
have
it
you-
Paykome's turn.
Have you ever tried thrusting with a rapier while dancing and flipping?
Sounds complicated.
On your soon-to-be companion's grave.
While
Well.
also trying to remember what a book told you to do?
Well.
I'd just like to point out real quick, in the quick combat guide, Stella, if you roll a 20 and die, you get to say some last harsh words if you want to. I just want you
Cool.
to know that first.
Sweet. I
Just
get
Alright.
it.
don't roll anything with a 2 in it.
Right.
Well, I
She already did that.
Yeah, well, don't do it again.
All right. So I've recovered from the stumble. I'm
Yep.
in range now.
Yep.
My leg can't hinder me anymore.
Yeah.
It's time to be a knight.
Okay. There you go. Fantastic. Paykome does kind of center herself again. Bites away the pain, lashes out, and cleanly separates one of wing from one of these vilings that are swarming about the party. And as the third one goes down, or at least gets injured, seeing as one of the earlier ones managed to kind of flap its way off, the remaining two let out these indignant squawks and begin to retreat. They pull off overhead, and with quite a bit of noisy flapping of wings, kind of work their way through the canopy and rejoin that larger swarm that had passed by overhead, which will end combat for the moment. So good job, you made it. And Mayra is unconscious and very close to death, kind of
Ah.
on the ground at your feet, or between your feet, depending on who you are right now.
So we don't like. I don't actually think there's a rules as written way to specifically aid her in passing death checks outside of having herbal cures, which we have none of.
Well, do your medicine
Yeah.
check to
You
heal
you,
her.
you can roll Medicus to help. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. What?
Sorry, all the lights just flashed in my apartment and went out, and now I'm sitting here in utter darkness.
The,
It's frightening.
the violin G's have broken into the apartment.
Apparently. Holy smokes, that was
But,
unnerving.
On the bright side, you haven't lost internet.
I know, yeah, that's what tripped me up because I was like, wait a second. The computer's still working fine because I thought the power had flickered.
Hey,
But no,
that's the important part.
that's the important part.
No,
So
just
yeah,
all the light bulbs
you can roll
broke at
Medicus
once.
to try and give Stella or Mayra some health back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
and
gonna
that will
say, so that's
stabilize
what
her.
we'll. Yeah, that's what we'll do is just roll Medicus.
I have
Yeah.
bandages.
Works.
You can't give Stella health back. It's impossible. Oh.
Karmeon drops to Mayra and begins to apply aid, but it's a
Mm.
dire situation.
Meanwhile, Pekome is gonna root through those, or through her pack, or Mayor's pack, looking for something to help her out with.
Uh-huh.
In her pack, you find. Oh wait, I don't have the soap anymore.
I don't think that soap was gonna help.
In her pack, you find crayons and a spyglass and a whistle, but there's also bandages and a weak antidote. And that's it.
Karmeon, there's some bandages in here.
Yeah, pass him over.
She's gonna underhand toss him to Karmeon.
Okay. So we'll say that the bandages are going to allow Karmeon to make Medicus a test again to see if he can stabilize her.
Okay, so we'll do that for stabilizing, not for giving. her
Otherwise,
a
it's
jump.
all
Kory.
up to Mayra on her own.
Yeah.
Kory,
Yeah.
do not fuck this up.
3.
Yay!
All right, there we
All right.
go.
You get 1 whole health point,
Yay!
or at least you stop dying. One of
All right,
the two.
Stella, you trip on a log and take 1 damage.
Oh my god. We live here now. We're not going anywhere.
Pekome's got a broken leg. Mayra's basically dead. Karmeon's just enjoying life.
Karmeon's really good at this. Yeah, Karmeon will end up with a lot of Mayra's blood on his hands, and also his now stained. Switching to character, stained embroidered woven silk armor.
Yeah.
It's now there. Yeah, it's not as pretty as it once was because of the large amount of inappropriately placed blood. Inappropriately placed because it should be placed inside Mayra and it isn't.
Yeah,
Wow.
naturally.
But
But fortunately, you did manage to stabilize Mayra. I think in the future, we'll make sure between Medicus checks, if you manage to refresh them somehow, we'll have the person who's unconscious make another death save test. Just so
Only
that
if
doesn't get
it's
skipped.
only if that person isn't Stella. Because
But for the moment, you are left in this kind of stretch of forest. Mayra is maybe fading back into consciousness now, with kind of bandages staunching most of the blood that's flowing from her throat.
you've got too much of a fascination with the other side.
When Maida comes to, you see her eyes are welling up and you see tears streaking down her face. She just kind of shudders and just lays there tiredly.
yeah, Karmeon's gonna sit on his butt and start fashioning a new splint while looking over at Pegome.
I thought you were about to say you were gonna sit on Mayura.
Please don't. I have 1 hit point.
Sit on Mayor's chest and just
No.
run.
So how do you feel?
I do not want to die here.
Well, good, because so far we've stopped that.
Yeah, we should
But if you want to keep not dying, we should move before they smell all your blood.
I don't Karmeon's gonna keep fashioning a splint and gesture for Pegome to come closer.
Pekome very painfully comes closer.
Pegome doesn't even Pegome splints the splint. He is extra splinting. There's now 2 splints applied.
Do you have Pekome remove the greaves, or are you just putting it over the armor, or
That's a good question.
Well, the first splint was under the greaves.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, yeah, definitely remove the greave.
Okay.
Splint the leg, then put the greave back on. That's the current
strategy? Okay, great. Yeah, give it a medicus test.
He's never failed me before.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, give me that 1d4 healing. Oh yeah, that was perfect. That's the exact health I'm missing. We're back to full, baby.
Wow.
Insensitive cheering. Featuring
Karmeon will
Pekome.
also give Mayura a chance to breathe while tending to his own bandages.
Wow.
Hey, nice. Good roll.
Wow.
He's also 1 point away from full health.
Wow.
Look, there's just a theme. Mayura gets the worst healing out of all of us. Pekome
Yeah.
gets the best.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to help Carrier.
Maida very stubbornly, slowly gets up.
Yeah,
Probably
Karmeon
looks very
goes-
pale and shaking and sweating.
Goes to Mayura's right side and gestures for Pekome to go to her left.
Pekome's gonna test standing on her leg while being at technically full health.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. You can feel these occasional flashes of pain. It's like a lance up, but with the aid of the splint, it feels sturdy. It never necessarily feels like your foot's gonna give out, or you're gonna do damage to yourself. It's just an unpleasant experience.
All right. Well, look, if her leg wasn't broken, Pekome would just carry Mayura.
Mm-hmm.
So since it is, Pekome is gonna make Karmeon get on the left side, and then she'll get on the right, so that she's putting weight on her not injured leg.
Right.
This is where we move through the forest with this discrete of -10.
For real though. Okay.
Yeah.
So the three of you continue on your original heading. Is that the case?
Yeah, I guess.
Southwest. Okay. So the day continues, and fortunately, you do not seem to encounter anything else immediately. In the early afternoon, which is just a couple hours after your incident with the violins, you do encounter. First, you hear the sound of water in the distance ahead of you, and perhaps 15 minutes later, you come across a river that is kind of sinuously curving its way through the forest and the hills that you've been navigating. It does appear to be running in a generally west to east, or east to west. No, west to east fashion. and it's on the larger side. If you want to ford across it, you'll have to take some time to find it, but you do have that as a sort of landmark to go off of now.
Can we hear the sound of horses in the distance calling out their coordinates to let us know where they are?
No, I'm afraid you were not quite so lucky.
Karmeon, you didn't train them to call out their coordinates?
You did not install the Find My Last Horse app before.
My last horse. We're going
My-
Skyrim
my
rules. We're just
last
gonna
horse.
pick up every horse we find.
Oh man.
All right. Well, fording the river seems incredibly bad for two of us.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just go generally along it until we can find what we're looking for.
So, if I'm hearing this and thinking this correctly, we're heading southwest and we met a river.
We're probably right above Melima. Or no, not sorry. We're probably at the South River, but to the right of Thistle, or right above Castor.
So my concern is that we were on the southern side when we
Is
went.
the river going to the north?
The river is running generally west to east.
Okay, so then we're probably right at the border of the woods then, where you see where the river sort of gets horizontal, unless
somehow
up
we
top.
crossed the river in the
Well, we could
underground.
be
That's
in
what I'm-
we could
Yeah.
be in
Could
the
be
split
here. Or here.
or here.
Yeah. And it's definitely here. Like, it's not here.
I'm glad y'all have narrowed it down. So
It's not here.
or here.
No, it's
Or
not
up
here.
here.
There's no way we walked underground all
We
like,
walked like 3 days and fell through a trap.
I'm just saying.
Well, so if the river is to our south and it's going east-west, that means we have no choice but to go west.
At the
Or
very least,
we
we can
cross the
find where
river.
it splits. And if we find that, then we know we're either here or here.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
think
if we're there, we'll be at Melima.
definitely going west. Yeah, we can go west.
Okay. We go west.
All right. Lead the way, but don't actually be right next to us, and just tell us where to go as we drag you along.
Oh my god. Okay.
okay. Yeah. So for the rest of the afternoon, you'll be continuing west along the river.
Yeah.
We're off to find the horses, the wonderful horses of
No,
Symbaroum.
the thing is though, if we're trying to find the horses, the horses are going to be in the other side of the river is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but there's also possibly a town in front of us where we could fix ourselves up real quick and then cross the river.
Yeah.
Unless
My gut tells me we are not near Melima. So we head west.
Okay.
Well, look, your gut's halfway on the ground right now, so maybe don't listen to it.
Wow.
God. So mean. Wow, that is so mean.
Okay. So as you continue west, the afternoon passes. Nothing really sticks out as far as the terrain. It's fairly similar to what you've experienced, although some of that bouldery, rocky nature gives way to more, typical dirt and just general forest undergrowth. And that's more or less your day's travel. So before too long, you'll want to think about setting up a camp of some sort. Mayra is not quite in a state that she's probably going to be able to scout as effectively as she would normally. So you might have to do something a little more makeshift than previously.
All right, Karmeon, go scout.
So, I mean, I can try, but one of the problems with scouting is sometimes when scouting, you find things.
Karmeon, I've never actually seen you get hit by something other than me. So
No,
go scout.
yeah, but if we find things, all we're going to do is want to hide from them. So why don't we just start hiding from them?
Because they might find us. And if they're
Well-
on the way, we want to be out of the way.
All right, Karmeon
Stay within
looks
screaming
over
distance.
at Meira.
What?
And then leaves.
Okay. Go right ahead and roll vigilant, Karmeon.
This is what he was made for.
Pain was made for.
No,
Ooh.
see, you were made for this.
Nice.
Excellent. Karmeon scouts this way and scouts that way, and fortunately, does not find anything. There are no tracks of encroaching, beasts or parties or anything like that. He does find what might not be defined as cover necessarily, but there is a stand. It's a sort of very small grove of rather thick trunked blackwood trees that rise together, and they offer a sort of nestled space that could be used as a makeshift campground for sure.
All right, Karmeon will head back as quietly as possible, and
Clunk, clunk, thunk, clunk.
no, that's the
He's
sound
not
of-
Pekome.
Sound of Pekome, and we'll try and get all and sundry to the likely campsite.
Okay. Yeah, he will manage that just fine.
Yeah, this place looks good. I mean, hopefully nobody else thinks so.
Or if they do, maybe they'll be friendly for once.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'd even talk to the cultists at this point.
I'd talk with Steel.
Mm,
It's a fine negotiator.
yeah.
I imagine Mira sleeping.
I imagine Mayra's sleeping half the time, even when moving.
Yeah, definitely at this point.
Kory,
So,
do you have the skill yet to go forage medicinal herbs?
no,
Not yet.
nah.
Okay.
Would be nice.
It would. Someone in here could really use that.
Hmm.
Not naming names. I don't want to put Stella on blast.
Thinking face. Thinking face.
Well, let's set up camp then. So, Karmeon,
Yeah.
what are you gonna tell the missus when we get back?
We
about
tried.
her deer?
We tried.
It was trolls. There wasn't much most could have done about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'll mention the trolls. I think I'll just mention the cave-in.
She shrugs.
Trolls eat, but cave-ins, that's a bit more comforting.
And do you plan to turn in the tablets this time, or is there another lie you want to tell without telling me?
Well, that was just, I think we can turn in the tablets this time.
Good, because we aren't going back.
Yeah, we've even got an extra tablet this time.
Did we get an extra tablet? I honestly couldn't remember if we actually found anything in the second trip.
Oh, Karmeon produces the extra tablet that is not at all similar. And Pekome wasn't present for the finding of.
Ah.
It has a woman. She's fighting a tentacle beast. Is that true?
I don't think it was tentacles, but there was a monstrous beast.
Could it be vaguely described as tentacle adjacent?
No, I think it's just a beast. I think it's a two-headed beast.
Does it
with
have
what are
many
called-
limbs? More
Are
than
they
4.
are they sort of gangly and wiggly?
They are not. There's nothing, guys. I didn't. I did not put a tentacle monster in this game.
Okay, well, did you put an artist who heard about a
No.
monster?
I didn't do any of this.
And okay, yeah.
You know, they say art
It's,
is in
it's
the eye of
an
the
imposing woman fighting a a two-headed.
Monstrous.
Monstrous-
There you go. It has more of something than it
Yes,
should.
heads. It has 2 heads, not
Okay.
tentacles.
And you know,
Okay.
they say art is in
Normal
the eye of
limbs.
the beholder, and a beholder is a
okay.
tentacled thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Carrie, please move on.
My gut
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah, he produces. Doesn't it glow?
Tentacle-ish light.
Oh my goodness.
No, I swear to God, this tablet glows.
What the heck is going on?
You said
Yes.
it glows.
The tablet glows.
Okay, that's what I said. The tablet glows. It
Yeah.
glows. And he's like, yeah. See, maybe we can turn this one in, and maybe we can not.
What's your plan for all of this, Karmeon?
You know, maybe someone wants it more than he does.
That's highly suspect.
Well, it's just, you know, everybody wants a piece of Symbar, right?
She adjusts her shoulder a bit where the cursed sword is. And what are you gonna do after we turn in the tablets?
This?
Does he gesture when he says this?
If there's a gesture, it's a shrug.
You plan to stay?
Yeah, I mean,
I warn
I don't
you,
know,
life expectancy is not long with those around me.
yeah, I mean,
Maida groans in her sleep.
it's not been great, but I don't know. It feels like what I should do.
You've seen the enemies I have.
Oh, those guys, I don't even. Hey, just stop. Don't open doors. And then we're good. I don't care about those goofballs.
She shrugs and then goes to sit off in the distance. You're taking second watch.
Yeah, really need to get a 4th person. Karmeon settles in for one of 2 naps.
Okay, great. So Pickham is taking the first watch. Meira is fast asleep.
Yes.
Sounds good.
How cold is it out?
It is sort of early autumn in Symbar, or in Davokar, I should say, and due to that, it's pretty warm. It's not really hot or cold per se. I'd say somewhere like in the order of 60 degrees,
Okay.
something like that.
Right, then Pekome will just sit and keep watch.
Great. And yeah, the sheltered nature of this grove protects you, it seems, at least at the start of the night, from any encounter.
And then she's gonna poke Karmeon with a stick and wake him up.
Ow. Ow.
You're awake. It's your turn.
A hand on the shoulder does it too.
She pokes him in the
Karmeon.
belly.
Ow! Karmeon gets up, goes and makes sure Mayor is still breathing.
Maira is snoring.
Painfully.
It sounds like pained wheezing.
Oh, I can do that. Just
Don't.
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 tell a funny joke.
No, just role play. Except
Okay.
that. Don't make that noise.
Okay. Yeah, Karmeon observes. He sees all.
Sorry, what?
He's
'Cause
pretending
he's
to be
on watch.
Mayra.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Because he's on watch.
I have Kory set to a reasonable level, which means that when he whispers, I can't hear him.
You mean
Yeah.
2%? So that way when he gets loud, you can lower it by 1?
Yeah. Okay. Karmeon, would you be so kind as to roll vigilant +2?
Okay. Is
Plus
it
2?
plus? Is it +1 for each great eyeball
Each
I have?
eye? No.
No, because then it would be +3.
Okay.
He's been hiding a third eyeball the whole time. Wow.
Okay.
Karmeon don't see shit.
Way to race our first, like, bonus vigilant.
Despite having turned both eyes into a corruption-ridden orbs that can see perfectly in the dark, is unable to glean much as he watches.
Too busy staring at basically dying Mayra,
Preoccupied by something or other, in any case.
reading a book on fencing with birds.
And yeah, the night passes. Does Karmeon wake Mayra up to take a watch, or
Oh yeah,
No.
that's right. We get
did
stat
you,
points
did you
for
split
sleeping.
it like half or what?
You know, Karmeon's just gonna stay up. He's mostly fine.
Okay. All right, so you get through a night, and it is the morning again. You may each recover a point for resting.
I'm full on everything.
Wow.
Well, Stella, are you gonna get a
Does
health point
Karmeon
or a
still
stat
get
point?
His...
I'm going to take a hit point because now I've doubled my HP.
Yeah,
Does
and then
Karmeon still
Karmeon
get
can
his
triple it.
given, he stayed up.
Okay.
What?
What?
Oh, yes. I
Okay.
sorry. I think. Well, I guess that depends a little on when Peikame woke him up. At what point did
I mean, he just took 2 watches, you know?
He took 2 watches. Yeah, I'd say no.
Okay.
It
I'll
wasn't
set it
very
there.
restful for
Yeah.
him.
Alright, well, Karmeon will wake Meira up
With a stick.
Don't.
try and... No, if I leave you with your bandages on, you'll get infected, and then you'll die.
It's okay. She's got an antidote.
I do not want to die here.
Yeah, okay, so sit up.
Okay.
Karmeon will change Meira's many bandages.
And
Yeah.
Pekome will get her armor on.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice. Oh my god, I have so many hit points now.
See, I told you he was gonna triple your hit point.
I have
you didn't.
the same amount of hit points as I had when we started today's session.
Alright, so you're good for another fight with birds.
Exactly 1 fight with birds. Nothing more, nothing less. Maida does not hold back in her complaints as she endures the medical attention. But after she's been tended to, she just kind of flops back down and rests while the other 2 go about their routines.
Yeah, that sounds perfectly reasonable. So Mayra gets some pretty effective field care from Karmeon, which is extremely fortunate for all parties involved.
And a first.
And you're essentially, I think, as a group, out of rations at this point.
Yeah, Karmeon eats the last of his food.
Mm-hmm.
Pekome goes the day without food.
Okay.
Man, if only we hadn't lost a horse with like half of our supplies.
Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. Okay, so as travel continues, it is going to grow a little more strenuous.
You
What with?
could say that it's negligent of us.
Server deafen.
Oh boy.
How is my leg today? Is it down to a dull pain, or is
Yeah. You could definitely say that it feels like a dull pain. It's a bit stiff, but it's definitely better.
it's locking up slightly, but all right, cool.
Okay.
All right. We
So
walking, boys.
so you continue on now on a westerly course.
Yes.
Great. So it doesn't take too long, perhaps just an hour and a half to 2 hours before the sounds from the river that you're following along grow. There's more water flowing. And after perhaps another half hour, you come to this point where the river broadens quite a bit. And if you look across the water, you see that part of it snakes away to the south from where you are. It branches off.
To the
So we're
south, you
here.
say? Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
Yeah.
Which wasn't the tower somewhere around here?
Yeah. So Maida will point out that very likely the horses and the tower are on the south side. Kind of points in the general direction of where their supplies are, probably.
Are you feeling better about possibly fording the river?
It is even stupider of an idea to do it here.
Well,
Do you not
here,
see the
but
water?
Are you physically able to, Mayra?
Yes. Are you? She gestures at your broken AF leg.
Pekome stands tall and proud, unflinching.
In very heavy armor.
Unflinching. Hey, look, that's just gonna
Well,
stop
we
the
can't
water
tell
from
whether or
pushing
not
me.
it's flinching.
Yeah,
Look,
it's just gonna
No,
mitigate water damage, duh.
Yeah, it's gonna resist the push of the water.
By dragging you to the very bottom.
We're gonna go for a shallow part, jeez.
Okay, Maida looks at the water. Yes, it's very strong. She looks...
Well, you don't know that. You're not the DM.
It is, in fact,
Well,
quite
he,
strong.
he he literally just described it like that.
I did.
We should. No, that won't work.
So what does Maida know about fording rivers?
You go through them.
So
Costella doesn't know anything. You take a bridge. That's how you ford a river.
yeah, I mean that's the reasonable way to do it most of the time. And if you
ford a
are
river
fording
if you
rivers
gave
naturally
up.
in the wild, it's pretty dangerous, to be honest. If the water's flowing, it doesn't need to be flowing very fast to have a lot of a pull, especially if you're carrying supplies. And if you lose your footing, chances are you may not recover.
You guys, maybe. I'll go first.
Do we have rope?
Yeah, that's my thought. We got.
My rope is probably on the cliff face.
I think Pekome is the only one who still has rope.
No, Karmeon has the best rope.
Karmeon got the fancy ancient rope from the,
Yeah, we
the
lit
ruins.
that on fire. That was the firewood she handed you.
No.
Karmeon, do you think you can make it across?
If I can't.
Is there a tree
Yeah.
near the water that we can use
Is there a
to
tree
brace?
in the forest?
So maybe we take one end of the ancient rope and we tie it to the tree.
What? No.
Well, that way, if you mess up, you don't die.
Yeah, and then you take the other end to the other side, and then we
What?
untie our end.
I don't want to leave my rope.
No, you're not gonna. We're not leaving your rope.
Once you make it across, we untie it from this end, and then you pull, and then we pull along it.
Yeah.
As long as we're not.
We're not.
I like this.
You are leaving here with your rope.
Either you're leaving here with the rope, or the river's leaving here with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Karmeon entrusts them with his rope.
Okay. Meira will tie the rope to a tree on this side, and then tie the other end to Karmeon.
And
So it
Pekome
is
gonna
something
make
that
sure the
would
tree is
probably
sturdy.
come to mind for the three of you that standing at where this branches is one of the wider parts of the river. So you would want to continue west for a while, perhaps to find a narrower area.
No,
do
we're just gonna go right across where the rivers converge.
Meira ties the rope to a tree that is west from here.
Okay, all right. So we'll just say that you continue on a little ways, and eventually you've found an area that the water drops from, say, 100 feet to 70, and then maybe 50. And that's about as good as it looks like it's going to get. Well, maybe we'll say 35, 40. And yeah, Meira ties the rope to a tree, and you may continue.
All right.
Good luck. Good swimming.
Karmeon fords the river like this hasn't killed emperors and ended crusades before, or something.
Great.
And wagons going to a
So
fabled
how does
land.
he handle the rope? Is he tying himself to it? Is he just hanging on to it?
Yeah, I think that tying yourself to the rope really on it. You know what? Karmeon gets fucking naked.
Okay.
Absolutely naked.
Yep.
Pekome's gonna tell him not to do that.
What? No,
The water's
This is-
freezing.
there's yeah, but these are so flowy, and then if I fall down, like the water's gonna drag. And he keeps getting naked while
He's gonna die of
having this discussion.
hypothermia.
I mean,
Meira, do you know of a third person to join our group?
no, but
Just swim.
Karmeon continues getting naked. And then grabs the rope and holds it to
No,
one side.
tie it to yourself.
No.
Do
Does
you
he
want
want
to
to
wash
die?
away?
No, but he wraps it around his arm, but he doesn't tie it.
That's
Oh, that's a
even
good way to
worse.
break your arm.
That's even worse. You can't control your arm if it's tethered to something.
He's gonna get pulled, dislocate it, not be able to pull himself back, and dangle helplessly in the river while naked.
Karmeon
this is
starts
what you've set
wading
us
in.
up to.
Okay.
How wide is the river?
It's about 35 to 40 feet wide here.
Do
So
you think I could chuck like fancy clothes 35 feet?
That's very
Karmeon's
far
not
away.
stuffed
Pack it, I
everything in his
guess.
pack.
Okay.
yeah.
So
Okay. So he has the clothes with him in
mm,
his pack, which you're probably going to have to hold over your head as you continue waiting.
yeah.
Even if you do spend time trying to scout out a shallow area to cross, which presumably you've done before Meira chose the tree. Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
The lights are attacking.
No. Just my leg is asleep.
Don't stand up abruptly.
Yeah, thanks.
I know this from experience.
The water does pass hip height and really almost chest height, so it's very difficult to keep footing, and consequently, I think we'll have probably a
Pegwame is
A
also going to be holding
strong?
on to the rope.
test, I
Like-
would say,
Okay.
at maybe -2.
Pegwame is going to be holding onto the rope to pull him back if something happens.
Yeah, that's good. But it doesn't. Karmeon does manage to kind of pull himself along, not so much against the current, but sufficiently to keep himself steady. And he makes it to the far bank. The water starts getting shallower, and he carefully places his footing, and before long, he is rising out on the bank opposite where Pekome and Meira stand.
Okay. Then Karmeon will just at that point, I suppose, be like, okay, shoot me over the other rope.
What the hell is he talking about?
You see, once you've made it across, Meira is untying the rope. The end of the rope.
Yeah. Now shoot me. We're gonna leave a rope here. So you.
Meira.
Oh, actually, Meira does not untie the rope.
You should go across first.
Yeah. So without untying the rope, it's still tied to the tree. Meira will use the rope to help her across the river. Hopefully Karmeon does not let go his end of the rope.
Yeah, no, he'll
Yeah, at this point, Pekome couldn't help by holding onto the rope, unless
No.
Karmeon lets go.
Yeah. No. Karmeon's gonna hold on to his rope.
All they would do is keep Meira stuck in the middle of the water.
She's gonna use it to wade across.
Alright, so
Gonna
while Meira's floating, Pekome is gonna start taking off her armor and getting it secured in her pack.
Okay, that sounds good. Go right ahead.
So I roll strong with -2.
So
-4.
could you explain the how exactly are you guys using the ropes at this point?
So there's the end that's tied to the tree, and on the other side of the river, Karmeon's holding it while Meira is going across.
Okay, so the rope is anchored to the side that you guys are on,
Mm-hmm.
and you're using that rope to support you as you go towards an end that is secured just by Karmeon holding onto it.
Well, hopefully
Karmeon's
he's
strong.
smart enough to tie it to a tree, but
Yeah,
I don't
no.
think he can hear us.
No, I mean it's a 35-foot river. Karmeon is don't why are you gonna cross without a rope, Pekome?
I'm gonna cross with the end of this rope. You two can pull.
Ah,
So Meira will not wait for Karmeon to tie the rope. She'll just unbuckle her belt and then buckle it back with the rope kind of attached to her hip.
Yeah, she's gonna make a cheap harness.
Yeah, this is not going to go in very well. But
Okay.
so she'll like kind of shimmy along the rope.
yeah, okay. Karmeon. I don't like this isn't the best way to do this, but we're doing this. Karmeon yells and then ties the rope to something.
So now, all right. So Meira starts heading off. Go ahead and make just the flat strength roll as she crosses this river.
Hey,
Wow, great, cool.
there's nothing flat
Meira
about those
manages
muscles.
to. Is this just the session where you guys make terrible jokes all night? Is that what this is?
It's the new year. Gotta start off strong.
Wait, Meira,
I
you
see.
gotta confirm that. Show us your crit strong.
No.
Wow.
Just strong. So
Right,
Meira
really
manages
strong.
to kind of lever herself along with the rope, and the rope dips into the water because of the way it's harnessed in. But it's good rope, and she kind of just pulls herself from one end to the other, manages to get on the south side of the water, and extricate herself, and she is fine, except for the fact that she's covered in clothing that is now sogging with very, very, very cold water. Pekome.
But Pekome is gonna start untying the rope from her end,
Okay.
and then she's gonna take off her pack for a moment, wrap the rope around it, and then tie it up and put the pack back on to like try and secure everything so it doesn't just open up and spill into the river.
So the end of the rope that's going across the river is now wrapped around the pack that Pickham is wearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Just mostly to like keep it shut,
Yeah, I see.
because there's a lot of loose pieces. And then she's gonna try to ford across while having the other two try to pull her.
Yeah, Maida will try to pull you towards the south side.
Okay.
Will Karmeon help?
Yeah, Karmeon is just going to mutter. Just mutter.
Mutter, mutter, mutter.
Yeah, go ahead and make a strength roll at -2, Pickham.
This is where I fail because it's the thing I'm good at.
Yep.
Ooh. Yo,
What was it? What was the bad joke we made? Like at this exact point.
There's nothing flat about those muscles.
Yeah.
I hate all of you.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah, there we go. Picome confirmed strong.
Okay, so Picome, just trudges her way across. The water is really insignificant in light of the way that she moves, and before long, she's rising out on the south side of the bank with her companions.
She'll start untying her pack and suggest that maybe they make a fire.
Maida makes a fire.
Okay, it is, like not quite noon, just so you're clear on that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's mostly to dry off.
Yeah.
Man, all that
Good.
shade you were throwing at Karmeon.
Yeah, well, you say that now, but if he'd failed the roll and flailed down the river naked, you'd have been singing a different tune.
Yeah, this is perfect. It is light enough that our fire will not draw too much attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Karmeon, you're mostly dry. This would be a good chance for you to see if you can find the horses nearby. Or
Yeah.
the tower.
Yeah. Karmeon gets dressed,
Maida dries off.
and then Karmeon will scout around.
Picome also dries off, but she sits close to Mayura for extra warmth.
Well, okay, Karmeon. He heads off to try and find the tower. Is that the plan here?
Yeah.
Or at least any recognizable landmarks
Yeah.
nearby.
Okay.
We're not necessarily looking for the tower. We're just looking for a second thing that we know where it is in relation to the tower, and then we can triangulate because we have.
Yeah,
two
that's how
known
we get.
points.
That's how we get the horse coordinates.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll vigilant as you explore.
Nailed it.
So Karmeon strikes off and does not necessarily find anything. The forest looks an awful lot like trees and shrubs and then more trees and maybe the same trees. It's really hard to tell them apart in all honesty. And you wish that there were signs and roads. That would be really nice
So-
right now.
So you're saying he can't see the forest through the trees?
After an indistinguishable amount of time, Karmeon probably decides that he had best just try and regroup with Picome and Mayura and strikes off back. Now go right ahead and roll a discrete at -1 to bring back, company or not. Okay, so hit me with a d20.
Oh god, no. Oh god, no.
Oh my god. Please do not yell into the mic like that.
It was so close, though, Stella.
No, that was
was
just
an
the sound of the enemy he
18.
found. He found
Oh
a
my
group of
God.
howler monkeys.
It was an 18. That's almost a 19, Stella.
Oh wait, Kory, you did that before he told you it was a +1 modifier?
There's no modifier on that though. But okay, cool.
No, it's not cool.
Oh right, sorry, not cool.
How much were we able to dry while Karmeon was looking around?
So you guys can actually take this moment to go over. It's probably been, I'd say, an hour ish
Okay.
since Karmeon set out. So you guys can cover what you were doing in the meantime.
Alright, so you want to chat a bit?
Maida is eating and trying to just in general gather her strength.
We need a vacation after this.
Maida perks up. Are you paying?
If we can convince Karmeon to help do something with that tablet, we should make something out of all this.
What are your plans, Pekome, once we do this? What do you want to do with what we've begun in Thistlehold?
Well, first, we're gonna have to check in with Rayvold.
Mm.
And unfortunately, I've got a new group of business associates I have to keep an eye out for.
Hmm.
But what of you? If there was a chance, this would be your moment to leave.
We shall see. I will not make any decisions until after we return to Thistlehold and I get paid.
We'll get your disgusting dog a great toy when we get back.
You see Maida just grins wolfishly. She kind of like leans back and looks up at the sky, looking very far away, and she's like, Bone Crusher could use something new to chew on.
We should have brought him some bones.
Hmm.
And then, once they start drying a bit, Pekome would start, like, piecemeal putting her armor back on.
Maida would take out her weapon maintenance kit and kind of go over her dagger.
Sharpen her bow.
Yeah, sharpen
Restrain
her
her
bow.
dagger.
Exactly. I think that would probably take up an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. And excellent. Excuse me.
Get her tools extra sharp for whatever Karmeon drags into camp.
Yeah, the next time she gets in the melee range, she'll just stab someone with her sharpened bow.
Yeah.
Karmeon,
Yeah.
shortly before you reach the rest of the group,
Yeah.
you hear something stirring in the undergrowth behind you. It sounds heavy and it sounds large, and it moves with considerable stomping sounds.
Pegame?
There's no response to that.
You're
But the
so lucky she
stomping
didn't hear
does
that.
grow closer. And out of the bushes stomps this large figure. In terms of height, it actually isn't that much larger. Well, it's quite a bit larger than
Karmeon.
Karmeon, but that's because Karmeon's quite short. It's tall. It looks, around the size of perhaps the barbarian or the kind of barbarian that they tell stories about in Ambria. But it's barrel chested. It's large, and as you get a look, you can tell this is a rage troll. It is sort of famished. You can see it looks just hungry. Its skin is weathered, and there's sort of this slight skeletal frame beneath its skin. But even despite that, you can see the ropey muscles and just the sheer power in its movements as it spots you and lets out this guttural sound.
Karmeon tries a few barbarian words that are friendly and nice while packing up.
So what you mean is he insults all the barbarians' gods.
Sorry, packing up?
Backing up in
Backing
the
up.
direction.
Oh,
yeah.
I understand that. Yep.
Also
yep.
packing up. If
That
you
was like,
unpacked.
did he unpack?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So Karmeon's still going, and Mayra and Pekome can probably begin to hear the sound of someone talking. And Mayra, you can tell there are a few sort of random barbarian phrases being tossed out.
How is his how's his
including-
grammar?
Karmeon, he's a lore master, so he's got good grammar.
So
But-
Maida just like sits up very abruptly.
He offers horse flesh.
And then we find out it already has it. It found the horses. Pekome is just gonna like glance at Mayra.
Maida grabs her bow. She says, "I hear trouble."
Is that what we're calling him now?
She begins walking in the direction of Karmeon.
Pekome is gonna finish latching in her helmet and follow after.
Alrighty, sounds good. The dialogue, or attempted dialogue, seems to have very little effect on this particular fellow. He has his eyes on Karmeon, and he lets out a louder bellow that Pekome and Mayra can very easily hear and narrow in upon. So they are treated to the sight of a large, massive framed rage troll charging across to close the distance with Karmeon. And that's where we will start combat.
Alright, at least out of everyone it could have attacked, it picked the person hardest to attack. But then it just grapples you and you die.
Oof.
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, he will go last, actually.
What's your... Actually, Mayra's got good vigilance.
Yeah, that's why Mayra is ahead. So it is Karmeon's turn first. Pekome will have to spend a full turn getting close before she can join the fray.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Karmeon, what do you do?
Karmeon is going to shout out for Pekome and Mayra, but because I respect everyone, I won't do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're so kind.
Welcome. And draw free his parrying dagger and, probably his shield. Little use as it gets, it will get some right now.
He dual wields shields, ready to block the rage troll's advance. And then, does he strike? Does he draw first blood?
I guess if it's close to the distance where, it's still, it has to charge him, So I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Oh, so you're saying you're gonna delay your turn till after the rage troll?
That's not a bad point, actually. Yeah.
Just be aware that
Permanently.
you can't.
underneath.
One, it's permanent, and two,
you need to delay the whole turn. So
Oh,
you can't
then
like
no, absolutely not.
prepare yourself and then delay the rest
No,
of it.
yeah,
Wait, you don't want to
yeah,
have
yeah.
your dagger or your shield not out before
Yeah,
it hits you?
no, absolutely. His entire turn is getting his dagger and shield out and getting
Okay.
further away
Yeah, sounds good.
towards Pegame and Mayura, hopefully.
And then it's my turn.
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to attempt a quick check to pull out a weapon without taking movement.
Okay.
Well, okay. It wasn't. I didn't just throw my sword across
Yeah,
the field.
Okay, good work. Not failing that. Whew.
Alright, so then for the first movement, she'll draw a black gift, seeing that it's a troll.
Okay.
And then for her action, she'll move as close as she can.
Yeah. All right. That gets relatively close. Excuse me. And
Just hurls her cursed sword at Karmeon.
yeah. Oh dear. Mayura.
Mayra will take a shot with her bow.
It's okay. Pekame's got 4 more weapons.
So go ahead and roll to attack. You have the very cushy attack of +7.
Oh,
Oh god, no.
yes. Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good hit.
That is-
Hey, you wounded him. You know what that means.
Uh-huh. Means
Good.
I am a marksman and I can do things. What is the modifier of its strong?
Its strong is 15, so your modifier is going to be -5.
Ooh.
Very nice.
So, that means is that it cannot move and its movement action is forfeit.
I bet Karmeon appreciates that. Or not.
So whenever it tries to move, I do this test again.
Alright, and then it's Rage Troll turn.
Yes. So do you do that test starting next turn or right away?
I would assume
Character.
you'd get the first pin, because otherwise it kind of feels like the first roll was mostly worthless.
Just establishing the condition rather than being the guaranteed success, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just look up real fast.
I mean, if that is how it works, then that's how it works, but it seems
Says-
weird to have it.
The attack
Have to
deals
roll twice.
damage as usual, and if the target is wounded, the character may make a test every time the target attempts to move. Oh,
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
so I would have done this on its turn.
Okay. So it automatically gets pinned, it's just, it can break it easily.
Okay, so the
it can
test that
always
you
break
make
it.
counts as the first test. So it is unable to move this turn.
Yeah. I guess it just makes more sense narratively for me to do it after I do the damage,
Yeah, gotcha.
because then
Okay,
you can roleplay.
that
Yeah.
clarifies it just a little bit. And that arrow cuts into the troll. And where were you hitting it? Lore-wise? Or...
Yeah, what did you pin?
Its hand to a tree.
See, when it comes to the skill itself, I just always figured you were shooting like a particularly nasty place in the leg, making it so that they have to at least like pull the arrow out before walking more.
Mhm.
instead of,
Ah,
like-
I shoot it in
Or
the leg.
any sort of flavor.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fine. Could work with.
Shot it in the leg.
She shot it in its big toe.
Oof.
Right in the calf muscle.
Okay.
This is the troll named Achilles.
So the troll gets clipped by this arrow and lets out a bellow of rage and pain and a little bit of confusion because it was looking at Karmeon and it got hurt by something that wasn't Karmeon, which seems unfair.
Yeah, this
but it is
pretty
able to
dishonorable,
move
Stella.
at first, and that more or less
makes it forfeit really all of its turn. Karmeon.
Well, no, you could take your actual action to attempt to move.
That's
Because
true.
the test is per move.
Oh, true. Yeah. So it will try to move again on its second movement. So go ahead and make a test. Yeah, it tears the arrow straight out, casts it away with an angry yowl, and just charges up in Karmeon's face.
Karmeon stabs away with a tiny little parrying dagger.
Okay.
As it tries.
Yeah, attack. You have a modifier of +7.
That actually gives him a chance to hit.
Yeah! Karmeon sinks the dagger in almost to the hilt.
Uh-huh.
Which for a dagger isn't very far, but
Yeah. Just right in a flailing arm. And gets to smell. What does a rage troll smell like?
rage.
So this rage troll smells a lot like sweat and salt and fetid meat.
And now extra blood.
And blood, yeah. A lot of irony blood
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Okay. That's not great. But Karmeon
not.
lets out a really fierce and somewhat shrill battle cry and stabs successfully.
Good stab. See, you're much better without the rapier. And then it's Pekome's turn.
It is. What does she do?
Is she able to make it in range with her movement? Because before you had said it would take the full turn, but then she did.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So then she's going to walk up into flanking distance.
Mhm.
We finally get to do it.
Yeah.
And because it's a troll, she is going to light Black Gift on fire and swing.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Is it? I guess it's +9 now.
It would be +9, yes, to hit, as well as an extra 1d4 for damage.
All right. So 1d4 for flanking.
Yep.
And then what is villainous stab? 1d4. So 2 1d4s.
2d4.
I could do that, Stella, or I could do 2 1d4s.
Whatever.
Those are your two options.
Oh,
Wow. Okay, and
and
roll a
then-
third 1d4 for corruption.
I'm still wearing the necklace, so
You are.
how many 1d4s do I have to roll?
That's a great point. For the necklace, you have to.
I rolled to see how
roll-
much corruption it blocks and then how much damage I take.
Yeah. Okay. So this first roll, which was 1d4, gave you a 3, and that was
How much the corruption I get from the sword.
Yeah, that would be the source corruption.
And then it's the block and then the damage.
Yep. So go ahead and roll 1d4. Okay. So it absorbs 1. So you were going to take 2 points of corruption
Mm,
and roll 1d4 for how much damage you take. 4 damage.
about expected. Also, I'm at my threshold. Or I'm over the threshold.
Okay. Excellent.
God,
Excellent.
no.
Great.
Excellent.
Is this where Piccomi becomes an abomination?
So hold on. I got to move back to your character tab real fast.
Yeah, I
Oh
was-
my god. You
Because
should.
it's when I hit the 5, so since I'm at 4 permanently, it means 1 hits,
Yeah.
hits the threshold, right?
Uh-huh. Yep. Oh dear. Okay.
It's
Cool. Cool.
Alright, so,
So,
that's,
so how much did you get? You got that?
I'm at 6, or well, I'm at 6 total, not 6 permanent.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. 2. You can just do the 2. So like it'll be additive between the 2, just for the sake of clarity. Fantastic. So
Does the necklace do anything for this corruption?
permanent corruption?
Well, I mean, well,
Oh. The what's about to happen? You mean?
yes.
No.
Okay.
It would, in
Mhm.
theory, but it is already burning so hot that it doesn't seem like it's capable of absorbing any other corruption right now.
So if
Which
I
is
had
why,
rolled a
interesting.
4 on
It could
damage.
It could do this if he was pushed over by gaining permanent corruption.
right?
Right.
Well, the mechanical effect is that it only activates once per scene.
Yeah.
All right, so roll one more d4.
Nah, hang on. I just want to double check something before you go off rolling anymore.
Mhm.
Well, I just need to not give Pekome a sip of my water skin
Yeah.
For this scene.
or any scenes.
Or just don't use cursed swords that you took off of some kind of death knight who was bleeding blood
Yeah,
with
but did you
streaks
see
of
how
yellow.
cool that attack was?
That was a pretty
Yeah,
cool
I mean,
attack.
it was an impressive attack for sure.
It was almost a perfect strike.
Yeah,
1 damage off.
yeah. 17 damage is pretty
Probably hit the
substantial.
pain threshold if I survive.
So much has happened in a small window of time.
Look, it wouldn't be interesting if I didn't use this ability, especially on a thing that you're supposed to use fire on.
That is a good point.
So because Pekome has surpassed the threshold, she does gain a stigma. What's that going to be?
So, does it have to be from that list?
No, it can be anything equivalent that you'd like.
I feel like it should be auditory or smell related, given how often she's covered up.
Yeah,
there's
something
going
Bonnie would be able to
there's
solve.
gonna be like a perpetual scent of like burning coming from her.
Brimstone.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds great. Cool, I like it. Okay, so you are going to roll 1d4 right quick to
Alright.
see how much permanent corruption you gain.
So 25% chance I die.
Don't do that.
We live in, boys.
Wow, okay, so you're up to 7 permanent corruption.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. Easy clap.
And with the temporary
Wow.
corruption, yeah, you're just 1 point away. Holy smokes.
You are teetering on the edge of becoming an abomination.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
now
do
for
you just
the
feel an urge to just kill every last one of us? Like, what does this feel like?
sometimes the world feels a little cold.
So you want to eat your friends?
Nah.
No,
I
you
feel
wanna-
like there should be a bit more fire.
Pyromania.
Okay.
Also, can we just talk about how great that strike was?
It was great. Yes, Black Gift, this cursed two-handed dark sword that you lifted off of an abomination, whistles through the air, and it doesn't just whistle, it screams. It is thirsting for blood. Everyone in the party is familiar with the sound of this particular sword screaming during battle, but it doesn't make it any less unnerving for spectators. It ignites with dark fire as Pekome lashes out, and she sinks it deep into the chest of this rage troll. The beast bellows and burns, and it sinks down to its knees and then stumbles forward and sort of cuts itself further on the blade as it tumbles to the ground and expires at Pekome's feet.
Also, for the first time, Pekome hears the singing of the blade.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds very pretty.
It sounds very pretty. It's also curling. It's giving goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
To,
Everyone gets goosebumps.
to Karmeon and to Mera, and there's this stench suddenly that fills the air. More powerful for Karmeon, perhaps, than for Mera, but discernible nonetheless.
Yeah, his eyes let him smell it better.
Brimstone that radiates from Pekome, your leader.
Has the rage troll just been cast down?
The rage troll is very dead.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
hanging limp on
cleaved
the blade.
virtually in half.
Yeah. Okay. Karmeon will. You know, despite the sudden death of the rage troll, there's not necessarily any less
Danger?
hair standing up on its ends from head to toe feeling of danger. So yeah, Karmeon's gonna keep his dagger half pointed at the dead rage troll and half pointed at the person adjacent to the rage troll and just
Yeah.
kind of watch her.
Pikome's gonna let the troll sit on the blade for a moment, the fire not yet having extinguished. And then in one fluid motion, she's gonna adjust her grip so that one hand is underneath and just lift the sword, cleaving it in half.
Yeah. Okay, there's this smell that accompanies the brimstone. It's the stench, first sweet, then sickly, of burning flesh. And then Pekome sort of finishes the cut and separates the rage troll in two.
And as she turns to look at Karmeon, for a moment you swear you see like a spark between the visor.
I see what?
You swear you see two sparks inside the visor for just a moment.
You okay, Pekome?
She's mostly quiet, save for some heavy breathing.
Maida just kind of looks on. She already has like another arrow notched because, that's what she was going to do on her next turn. And she's just kind of stunned. She slowly lowers the arrow and she's just staring at the two of them. And the filleted. Troll.
We didn't remove the bones. It's not a fillet yet.
There's two pieces.
All right. And then after another minute, the sword extinguishes. She silently puts it away. And she says to the other two, let's move on before something else comes.
Yeah. Yeah. Karmeon starts moving.
Maida just kind of steps out of the way as Karmeon makes his way back towards camp, and she watches Karmeon go, and then she turns to watch Pekome.
Pikome's got a very heavy step right now. She's leaned forward in a very aggressive stance, but it's not directed at either of you. It's more like she's looking for another fight.
Come, Pekome, let us go back to camp.
Yeah. Just got to make sure it's safe first.
It is safe. Let's go.
She'll glance back out into the woods for a moment, a very long stare before turning and following after Mayra.
Maida will insist on you going first.
What, you don't want her behind you?
No. I just saw you literally butcher a troll into two pieces.
She's strong.
So Maida will essentially just go back with Pekome. And once they're back at camp, she'll say, we should pack and continue while we have daylight.
It would have actually been like the perfect time if Pekome had become an abomination, because we had what was essentially a retirement talk right before that. So many red flags went up.
Oh dear.
It was great. But we're all alive. Everyone is perfectly fine and healthy.
Once
Also,
they're back at camp, never mind.
Karmeon, heal me.
Yeah. Wait, did you get... Where?
My neck is burned.
Oh. Yeah, that. Yeah. I was, and Karmeon's gonna basically reiterate the really fascinating in concept, but perhaps horrifying in reality link between these two, and how curious it is that these two artifacts have kind of come together given their opposite nature.
You talk too much.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. And Karmeon sees what he can do about.
So sorry, just didn't you use Medicus this morning?
Not
No.
on Pecome because she was full health.
Oh, because she was full.
Yeah,
Of course,
that's
you're
right.
right. Go right ahead.
Yeah, nor on himself, but he still has
Just
next
on
to him.
Mayra. Okay. Yeah, great.
Not much to be done given the nature of the wound.
Not having any salves.
Yeah. Mostly there's some skin that just is going to flake off and needs to be removed. And he aids that process, and it hurts like a motherfucker.
Pecome does not react to the pain. She just stares sort of aggressively at you while you do it.
Yeah, this has to go. I'm sorry, but he kind of peels and scrapes the skin off and sets it aside.
All right. Where
For
to next?
later.
Oh.
And at that point, Pecome
Ugh.
stabbed a sword through Karmeon,
No.
her being a cannibal.
She's already done that.
Yes.
So now that we're on the other side of the river, and after we pack everything up, Maida will begin to lead them towards the tower.
Okay. Great.
So she probably recognizes Ish, this area, and know what direction to go.
In a vague sense, yes. It will take a vigilant roll to locate where it is exactly, but you're closing in on it for sure.
Okay. Modifier?
Just flat.
Okay.
You did it.
Perfect.
You a big hero.
So, the group kind of trails behind Mayra as she charts a course, and it looks to Karmeon like some of these trees are the same trees that were the same trees that he passed a couple times earlier. But eventually, the foliage and the scenery does shift just a little bit, and before long you see the stone spire of this tower once again protruding from the ground some 30 or 40 meters ahead of you. And not much looks to have changed. The tower is still there, and fortunately it looks like your horses are still there.
Is Mayura's rope still there?
They are tied up. The rope is there. Everything else is still there.
Hey, you can
And,
retrieve your rope now, Mayura.
The
Yeah,
horses
that's
are
normal.
looking pretty angry. They've been,
Abandoned.
abandoned and tied up near food that they probably can't reach for a couple days now. But you found them. They're still there. And what do you do?
Karmeon, give them the feed.
What?
Give them their feed.
Oh, yeah. And Karmeon will go searching through their packs to, give them a day's, just to feed them. It's about the nicest thing that has happened with anyone in this collection of people in the last, 4 days.
It's a very calming interaction compared to everything.
Yeah. Yeah. You feed a horse, and the horse is like, "That's good shit," and you're like, "Shh."
And then Mayura trips and falls back into the tower and has to go through the whole thing
Oh my
again.
god.
Wouldn't that be something?
Maida collects her rope, apologizes profusely to the horse, lots of pets, lots of hushed whispering.
And
Yeah. You should you should ride a horse back, Mayra, because you know.
You look frail and weak.
Maida looks as if she wants to contest that, but instead she just kind of groans and she climbs on the horse. We go
Okay.
that way if we want to return to Thistlehold. Point.
Since we only have two, Pekome is gonna walk alongside the horses.
Yeah, Karmeon will just. Yeah, at first he'll like look in his pack and be like thinking about loading up a horse, and then he'll look at Pekome for like a solid 10 seconds, and then he's gonna get on a fucking horse.
I want you to know that while you were looking at her, she was staring you down.
Yeah. Then it's only a solid 5 seconds.
She was asserting dominance.
Yeah. She has solidly asserted it, and he absolutely climbs on the fastest means of travel available to him.
All right. And how many more discrete rolls do we need?
Oh my god.
So you've done a discrete roll for the day, so you won't need to do another one, and you can spend the afternoon kind of heading back towards Thistlehold, although it's still going to take several days to return. So you can make camp and get through another night, and we'll get on to traveling anew.
All right.
Yeah, so Maida will lead them to probably that spot that we keep using. That's like part of the way against
Mhm.
against that one. What was it? It was like a hill.
Yeah, sort of cleft open, so there's a very vertical face to it that you've
Yeah.
been using as a campsite with good sight lines.
Yeah,
and
it's
sort of
our
secluded.
home away from home.
Yeah, seems that way.
Yeah, so Maida will lead them there, and then I believe that was a couple of hours away. So,
We still had plenty of daylight.
hmm.
We killed that troll so fast.
When we get to that spot, does it look like it's going to get dark?
No, it's probably just late afternoon at that point, if that's as far as.
Maybe a good chance to hunt for some food.
Do we have any food on
I-
the horses? Or did we take all of that with us?
Yeah, I don't think we.
I think we took all the food with us that wasn't on the horse that ran away.
Yeah,
Okay.
y'all are pretty much straight out of food unless you start eating the feed.
Okay,
Or the
so Maida will
Or the horses.
take we'll take like a break at that campsite and Maida will go hunting.
Okay, great. So Mayra, go ahead and roll vigilant, and you can have a +1 here, due to being pretty familiar with the terrain at this point.
And not having Pekome nearby.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a 2.
it is a 2. That is quite successful. So
Usually you hunt a rage troll.
Mayra spends about 2 hours hunting, and the first hour is as fruitless as her last trip out, and it's probably a little disheartening. But before she decides to turn back, she does end up sort of encountering a set of tracks. And as she follows the tracks, it leads to a glade, not too far from the river, in fact. But it's a nice sort of clearing in the trees. And on the far side, there stand a handful of deer all gathered up. And she manages to sort of skirt along the clearing until she has a very, very, very clear shot that she knows she's not going to miss. and she takes out the largest of the deer.
Nice.
And
I think what you're supposed to do is like you kind of butcher it on the spot.
You're supposed to aim for a
Quarter
place
it.
where it'll bleed out.
You basically want to make it as light as possible.
You quarter it.
Yeah, she does the things, and then she'll bring the body back to.
okay. Yeah. So Mira kind of harvests what she will from the deer and comes back laden with meat.
Picome will go looking for firewood.
Great. Yeah. Go right ahead.
She wants to start a fire.
Oh God. She's like, no, this is my task for camping now.
While Pegome has been hunting, Karmeon
Hunting?
has been. Yeah.
For
Sorry.
firewood.
While Mayra has been hunting, Karmeon has been practicing making. So we bought horse oats, right?
Yes.
Okay.
bought-
Karmeon has been practicing making horse oats meal.
No.
Yeah, no, he has.
Well.
Alright, it tastes like oats. Oats with maybe like some sap you found from a tree.
Good, you have a fire going here. And she just kind of.
The fire seems dangerously large.
She'll be careful and. She'll just start cooking the meat.
Karmeon offers Mayra some warm, wet horse oats.
Kind of sticky, not really a solid bar.
Maida will eat the oats. Maida probably looks very tired at this point after lugging back her find. And what does it look like by the time we finish all of this? Do we still have a couple of hours of daylight?
No. By the time you finish this, it will be drawing on to dusk.
I think we should stay here for the night.
Yeah.
Mayra, you sleep first. Karmeon, you're taking third watch.
Okay.
Pekome, we should put out the fire.
Not yet.
It will draw attention. It is getting dark.
We can stay a bit longer.
Oh God, that's so fucking creepy. Maida will just like she looks dubiously at you. You can see there's a look of concern on her face, but she doesn't push it. And she goes to sleep. And she passes out.
Picome stares into the fire for a minute.
This is fine.
Karmeon has trouble sleeping.
Maida sleeps like a baby.
And then after maybe like 10 minutes, she'll start slowly
What?
putting out the fire.
Okay.
She doesn't
So
look
she-
happy about it.
But she does it. And you know what?
What?
That's
that
what
means
counts.
she's not lighting everything on fire. So that's a plus.
Yeah, you're not on fire in your sleep. What more could you
Awesome.
ask for?
Nothing.
Could be a lot worse.
She is actively patrolling back and forth tonight. And
Karmeon
she
will go to sleep once the fire is out.
is not going to wake someone up for the mid shift.
So you're doing 2 shifts?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Does she wake Mayor up for the last shift?
Oh, it's Karmeon for the last.
Oh, okay. So she wakes Karmeon up for the last shift. Gotcha. Sounds good. Go ahead and roll vigilant at -2. Roll.
It's all right. The fire in her soul will let her see the heathens in the night.
Oh my God.
Okay. Unfortunately, despite her zeal, Pekome is not the best at spotting things in the dark. She patrols this way and that, but does not quite manage to discover anything going on.
Does anything discover us going on?
Yes.
Is it Karmeon?
No, Karmeon is sleeping.
Okay. What do I
And,
fight?
You don't actually fight anything. See, I'm just gonna figure.
A huge, like, 100-foot snake starts going past.
Okay. Let me just.
Think you're thinking too long.
I'm not thinking. I'm just pulling up something. I made a few rolls real quick to see.
He's counting how many rocks need to fall.
Nope. Nope. None. No rocks fall, but abruptly.
Oh.
Karmeon wakes to the feel of something large and heavy and scaled crossing his legs.
Hey.
Oh.
I was mostly right.
So go ahead and
Roll to panic.
if you would make I need to look up how this particular thingamabob works here. But yeah, so Karmeon wakes up to a fairly large snake twining itself over him, and he has a very brief moment to realize that this appears to be trying to constrict about him in that just before it does so.
Karmeon has the worst luck with snakes.
Yeah, it was a
I mean-
50-50, depending on who it would go for.
Yeah.
Undead snakes, giant snakes, snakes that hug you in your sleep.
1,
Yeah.
6, 2.
Look, at least it wasn't Mayura. I don't know if she could survive a hug right now.
Yeah.
No. No hugs, please.
No snake hugs.
No.
Okay. So it has advantage. I'm just sussing out exactly how that affects the roll.
Mm-hmm.
Weren't we giving them...
Flat 2 or 3?
I think the advantage was still 2 for the roll, and then it was like 2 damage or half damage or something?
Yeah, it's usually the flat average, like the middle of the
Mhm.
fact on a roll. So like you guys get 1d4 damage, and that would means they would get a flat 2. I was just checking to make sure the modifier for the roll would just be an extra 2.
I
It
think
does-
that's what we'd been doing.
So just need to pull up the stats page again, and
It is a master of acrobatics.
I mean, yeah, it is a Kanaran. Kanaran. So
Oh, it was nice knowing you, Karmeon.
Yeah, so we're gonna start combat with
Mhm.
Karmeon kind of letting out this strangled shout, which may or may not wake up Mara, but certainly draws Pekome's attention. And Karmeon, if you would just go ahead and roll to defend with, I guess, nothing, prepped. And
Okay.
so typically you would get +5,
Uh-huh.
but you are prone and it has advantage. So I guess we'll dip that to +3 to see if you
Okay.
can avoid being strangled.
Okay.
Don't get strangled.
So Karmeon wakes up to someone trying to snuggle into bed with him,
Yep.
and it doesn't matter who he assumes it is. He doesn't want it.
Right. Okay.
But for lore, who did he assume it was?
You know,
You know what? He doesn't say it out loud, so you don't know. Haha.
yeah, but with all the clinking and scales, maybe Pekome.
Pekome doesn't have scales.
What's the? Hang on.
Mayor is much
Oh
closer
yeah,
to
+3.
scales.
It is made more.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, this snake begins coiling itself about Karmeon, but he does wake up and he manages to quickly work free and avoid it. And that's how we'll start combat. Pull up
While
the
shrieking.
old initiative tracker and pop in a Canaran.
Kevin's like, I know how to hit Karmeon, and it's by making Pekome hit Karmeon. So we're gonna send this
I
snake.
thought it was gonna actually start, and then I remembered that these things can't hit. I'm surprised they don't get like a huge bonus for advantage or something like that to make up for being.
Do they
so
have
bad.
Strangler?
Yes.
Hmm.
Strangler at novice lets you make an attack while at advantage, but it doesn't change that its attack
Is very bad.
is based on accurate.
However,
Which-
if it hits, doesn't it stay? Like it's a very
Yes. So
sticky-
if it succeeded in that attack, you would not have a turn anymore.
Yeah, you'd be
yeah.
being strangled.
And you wouldn't be able to stop it until you'd basically have to beat it in a cunning test.
Mhm.
So that's
But
why I'm at
It does also get like
Really
master acrobatics, which is
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep,
really
it is
good.
very difficult to fight. There are definitely reasons for it to act that way. So it's
Mhm.
14 quick, so it goes up right after Karmeon.
as we saw where I almost one-shot Karmeon the last
Yep.
time we fought one.
Mhm.
And I think for this turn we'll just start with Pekome, seeing as it just did a thing and Karmeon was asleep, and we'll move on.
Right, gonna roll to draw my stuff.
Absolutely, go right ahead.
It's been a long time since I've succeeded that.
Well, the last two at this point. You
Well,
failed.
I failed the last ones previously too.
Oh,
It's
okay.
been a while.
Get
so
a
she's
grip.
going-
Haha.
Oh my goodness.
Someone stabs Mayura in her sleep.
Oh no.
So she'll draw. I remember this thing was. Alright, she's gonna draw Black Gift again,
Okay.
and then get into range with it raised over her head,
Okay.
and that'll be her turn.
So she's not attacking.
Well, she can't.
Oh, right. Good point.
Yeah.
And
She's just gonna say, "You should move."
Trying.
what goes on with Mayra?
Mira will shoot Tanaro.
In her dreams,
No.
piercing the heart
so
of Bone
Mira-
Crusher.
Maida wakes up to the sound of what's going on. Gets up. Grabs her bow. And shoots? Because she doesn't need
But
to
does
move?
she shoot Pekome? Can she see what's going on? All she sees is Pekome standing over a writhing mass that was Karmeon.
I mean, unless it's like a moonless night. I'm sure I could see something, right? Maybe not
Yeah,
super well,
I mean, I
but
imagine it's pretty dark, but she can definitely see sort of the commotion that's happening, if nothing else.
sorry if I hit you. What's the modifier?
So the modifier to hit is -4.
Hey, nice.
Okay.
You landed a hit.
Yeah, so an arrow thuds into this large snake, but it does kind of merely scrape along the scales and fall to the ground a few meters away.
Still hit it. Got
Still
it.
hit it. Still hit it.
Nice accuracy. Good
Thank
job.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe use the metal arrows though instead of the wooden ones.
And that makes it Karmeon's turn.
All right, Karmeon, don't die to a snake.
Karmeon is just going to scramble away.
Okay. You will need to make a successful quick test to stand up.
Do I? Can I crawl away?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Because you also consider that as getting out of the snake's grasp.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Well,
Oh boy.
And this is where Karmeon gets 8.
Karmeon does not
Okay.
get up.
So Karmeon tries to stand up, but the snake is still half coiled about him. And as he pushes up, he still has a leg caught between its body, and it more or less causes him to fall back to the ground and forfeit the rest of his turn.
Okay.
So the snake will try to attack Karmeon with advantage again. So go ahead and roll to defend at +3 again, I suppose.
Okay.
What if he rolled another 20?
That'd be a surprise.
This is Karmeon.
It would definitely be a surprise if something hit him. Okay, and that is its turn. It is still trying to coil about Karmeon as he's waking up, but is unable to do so. Hey, Kome.
Alright, he tried to move but failed, so she's gonna swing down.
Okay. So you're gonna roll to attack at -4.
Oh, so close. It's alright, I missed both of them.
Jeez.
Just
Okay,
thunk
so
into the ground
Kome
right
does not
next to him.
manage to connect with the twisting shape of the snake and also Karmeon.
Karmeon continues screaming.
Yeah. And that moves it right along to Mayra.
Dink.
Excellent. So
Is it
the
gonna
master
acrobatics
acrobat
this?
is going to have to make a successful roll against quick. So the snake's quick is 14. We're aiming for a 14 or lower. Nope. Okay. It is unable to twist about and force Karmeon to take the arrow, so it does get hit, and
Cool.
it does take damage.
What is it strong?
Its strong is 10, so modifier of 0.
So it loses its move action.
It's a good thing it doesn't need to move right now.
I don't know, it might help.
It could, yeah, if
Okay.
Karmeon gets out of there.
Yeah. So Karmeon, it is your turn.
Karmeon gets his parrying dagger out, and that's a free action, and continues trying to get away.
Okay.
And
Yep.
continues trying to get away.
Why did you? Oh, okay.
The other half.
Drawing a
and-
weapon is typically a movement action, though.
Yeah, but daggers are free.
Oh, daggers
Short.
are free. Gotcha. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So you critically
again.
failed on the second half.
Yes, and confirmed it.
Yeah, I don't know. That gives double advantage to the snake at this point, I guess.
Well,
You
yeah,
are
'cause he can't
slowly
lose
but
his
surely being entangled. Huh?
Yeah, because he can't lose his
Yeah,
turn.
he can't
this
lose
time.
it. So we'll just up the modifier that you're dealing with when it attacks.
Great.
The snake will continue to try to coil about Karmeon as he flails and screams about. So go ahead and roll to defend at a modifier of +1.
One now? Oh no.
Okay. It is now strangling Karmeon.
Mayor,
The
we might just have
Strangler
to call
perk
this a loss.
at the novice level deals 1d6 damage each turn and ignores armor. So go ahead and roll 1d6.
Okay.
Don't roll sixes.
Okay. Karmeon takes 3 damage.
Remember, you don't take that full.
Yeah, the negation of 4 doesn't apply here.
Mhm.
And okay, so that is Karmeon's turn. That is the Kanaran's turn. Pekome.
All right. So at this point, it's really hard to tell what part is Snake and what part is Karmeon.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna like lift it up and apologize, sort of brusquely, and then swing again.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Roll to attack against a modifier of -4.
I'm pretty sure Karmeon's giving me advantage, right?
No.
Hey, we hit.
Okay. Are you making Black Gift go on fire or anything like that?
Not this time. Unless you want me to be an abomination.
No. I was just giving you room to do what you wanted.
Take that, Snake.
Oh,
Look,
dear.
we're just following a trend. So the next hit I do, how much did Mayra do?
So
8. So the next hit will be 8.
yeah. Okay. So it's Karmeon's turn. Karmeon, if you would.
Wait, it's Mayra's turn.
Made a
but
miss.
Mayra
Oh,
attacks.
Make him a
on the miss.
hit.
Yeah, pick him a hit. Oh, that's a good point. So I guess the snake would use its acrobatics, so it has to roll a successful quick.
Get ready to take that 1 magical damage, Karmeon.
Okay. Yes. So Karmeon does get
Does
poked
armor
for
matter?
1 damage. So
You can't defend, but armor
can't
does still
defend,
block.
But yeah, armor should still
Okay.
absorb. So
Well,
you shouldn't
Yeah.
take anything.
All right. Okay, Karmeon gets hit with the blunt edge of, or the blunt flat of the blade in the stomach and continues gasping for air and struggling.
Okay.
Now
Oh.
Karmeon gets to test cunning, motherfucker.
Yes.
The one thing he's
So
good at.
you may roll cunning at a modifier of -6.
Wow.
Okay. Karmeon is still trapped within the coils of this snake. It is the Kanaran's turn. It is going to continue strangling Karmeon. Roll 1d6. So that's 4. You're taking 4 points of damage.
Wow.
Oh my god.
This is awful.
This is awful.
This is really awful.
You see, Kevin, you just needed to work once.
Yeah, apparently. Hey, come here. Go ahead and roll a. It's just your turn. Do whatever you'd like.
Yeah, I hadn't decided to stab him yet. I was
Come
gonna
on,
ask
stab
if
him.
I could possibly try to pull the snake off of him.
Okay.
Like, do a strong check
I
to
don't
try and
think
pull
you
it
have
away.
any sort of brawling or like stuff, right?
No, so I wouldn't be able to like counter strangle it or anything like that. Just
So you can, because I like the idea, but it's going to be really difficult because there are specific abilities built into the game
Mhm.
that you haven't
she's
chosen
not
to
trained
take.
for it.
Yeah. So it's going to be like really hard.
Okay, well,
But if you want to, we can work that out.
okay, she's gonna put Black Gift away because this is doing nothing, and she's gonna try to pull the snake off.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and roll. I want you to roll for this.
What's it? It's strong as a base.
It's strong is just 10. It's not very strong,
Okay.
but it's more that you're going to be trying to get a hold of this thing.
Yeah, I was gonna
As it's
add. I was gonna
driving it
say we
out.
could add like a modifier to its base and go off of that.
Yeah, but it's. I don't really want you to test
Mhm.
against its strong.
I'd say just testing strong versus cunning might be a start.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can roll strong against its cunning modifier, which is -6. This won't be to pull it free, though. This is just going to be like to basically get a grip
Mhm.
to be able to do something with. Okay, and
Oh.
you do. Very well done.
Look,
So,
the one
yeah.
thing Pekome does well is be strong.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Wow.
So she's just gonna like, because you can't really grab a snake this big, she's gonna like wrap her arm around the like thickest part she can find,
Mm-hmm.
and then get ready to start pulling.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do we want to
Mayra.
parlay that into like advantage for Karmeon's roll?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Ooh, but Mayor is
Okay.
not wasting any time.
Mayra connects successfully with an arrow, and we'll
There's-
see whether the snake.
Is it Karmeon or Pekome? Because right now either is feasible.
It will probably maneuver to make Pekome take it.
Okay.
And that is successful, so go ahead and absorb armor. Okay,
Alright,
so you take 4 points of damage from that arrow.
Guys.
Just an arrow.
Okay,
thumps
so
right
go
into
ahead
my
and
side.
roll your cunning test, Karmeon, to get free. It's going to be -4 because you have advantage now,
Okay.
due to Pekome helping out.
Guys.
Oh dear. Okay.
Oh my
so it is the Kinaren's turn. You take 1d6 damage.
Roll a 1, okay?
Ow.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Karmeon's unconscious now, right? Or is he not?
He's
Yeah.
got a lot of health.
Karmeon fades, just barely.
Was that perfect health?
Yes.
Oof.
Oh.
All right. So Karmeon is unconscious now.
Hey, we're
Well, not
taking
really
turns.
unconscious. Karmeon is dying. Sorry.
We're all taking turns dying.
Yeah. Yeah. Pekome, it is your turn.
Alright. Gonna, now that I've got a good grip, gonna continue to try to break the snake off of him.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll your strong -6.
Still -6, even though I've got like a good grip now.
Yes, because Karmeon is not helping at all right now.
Oh.
Very nice. So, Pekome, yeah, you
Just
are
like
able,
lift this snake over her shoulder and slam it down behind her.
essentially, yeah, it is coiling and writhing around
Mhm.
Karmeon, and you hear the sickening noise that's coming from him that isn't breathing. It isn't really anything good at all.
Like the sound of a last breath being
Mhm.
squeezed out.
But you manage to just draw upon really inhuman reserves of strength and just pull this writhing massive muscle up over you and slam it down on the far side. And you have pulled the snake away. It is no longer on Karmeon. Mayra, it is your turn.
This is where Mayura just kills all of us.
Okay, that's a successful hit for 7 damage. The snake is going to make Pekome take it. or
Please
try.
fail. Please.
That is
Oh,
a
God.
success. Go ahead and soak damage.
Oh god. It's a good thing I was at full health. 1d10. Okay, it's only one.
Yeah,
Or
you only take
it's
1 point of
increments.
damage.
Neat.
Oh god.
Okay, it
Alright.
is the Connoran's turn. Well, it's Karmeon's turn, so go ahead and make a death save.
Please don't roll a 20. We need you, Karmeon. We
Well-
need you to heal you. That's a fail.
Okay, so you're a step closer to death, but you aren't dead.
Yep.
It is the Connoran's turn. It is going to try to bite.
Pick on me.
Pekome. Well, actually, it's just going to try to coil up around Pekome.
Alright. How does this roll work for me?
So you're going to roll to defend at a modifier of +5.
Defense +5, which is good because I don't have my shield out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Oh,
Wow.
ho, ho, ho.
That was very close.
And now it's
You have
my
an
turn.
18 with no
Ah.
shield?
13 base quick.
Oh, because it's +5, right? Of course. I was like, what? Okay. Pekome, it is your turn. Go ahead and
Alright,
attack.
now she's gonna redraw Black Gift, and now that there isn't a Karmeon in the way, swing very hard.
Yeah, go for it. It is a -4 modifier.
See, it was much harder.
Well,
It was twice as
connected.
hard.
Yeah. All right. So Black Gift scrapes along the creature's scales, but fails to bite through.
Karmeon, you might be in trouble.
And it is howling angrily.
Mayor was
the sword
landing
is howling
shots. She
through,
just
not the
needs to
snake.
stop shooting Pekome.
Mayor,
Stop getting in the way.
The snake will make Pekome take it.
Please.
Roll 1d20.
Don't.
Oh,
Oh, fucking god.
So go ahead to soak.
It's a good thing that can't really, like, crit.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And again, you only take 1 damage.
It's adding up, though.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is.
I'm running out of HP.
Karmeon, go ahead and roll a death save.
Alright, that's
Great.
1 and 1.
Okay, still stable. The Konoran is going to try to attack Pekome again, so go ahead and roll to defend at +5.
Oh god.
Good, very
I'm
good.
rolling way too high. This is not making me happy.
It is Pekome's turn, so feel free to attack again.
Okay, so we're gonna try a strategy if I miss. First,
Okay.
I'm gonna swing at -4.
Okay.
See, we're
Nice.
incremental.
Yes. So that is enough damage to break through its armor. You do draw blood. There's a reflexive twist and scrape of scales on the earth as punctures.
Oh, and this one's alive.
It is alive. Yes.
Which means if like one of us hit well, we could actually hit the pain threshold if we'd stop hitting each other.
Yeah.
All right, and then using its momentary reaction to getting hit, Pekome is gonna move out of the way of Miss shoot her in the back. So I'll take the attack of opportunity. But I'm gonna
Okay.
get out of
Okay.
range.
So you're leaving. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll to defend against a +5.
It would have been really sad to fail that one.
Yeah, it would have. It would have been very sad.
Mayra, I swear.
Okay.
That was your time.
And it's Karmeon's turn. Go ahead and make a death save.
Oh my god. Please don't let us die to a goddamn snake.
Karmeon.
Hey!
One.
All right.
He's up.
Roll 1d4.
See, he wasn't strangled as bad as it looked.
Okay, so
Oh.
Karmeon, just with a gasp and a sudden jerk, spasms back into consciousness and breathing of his own accord. He
You
has
notice there's no longer a snake on you.
bruised and cracked ribs.
Not
and-
only that, he discovers that pulling out your dagger in the midst of grappling a python is perhaps problematic,
Yeah,
and he has accidentally stabbed himself.
yeah. Great. Oh my goodness.
Don't do that.
So Karmeon has a point of health.
Yeah.
No, it
Kory
was,
sits up.
it was all part of his plan to play dead by stabbing himself.
I think I broke It broke my ribs.
Welcome to the
Karmeon.
Broken Bone Club,
Oh.
Karmeon. Get away from here.
Little guy.
Mayra, would you shoot the snake?
So it is, in fact, the snake's turn, Konoran. And at this point, seeing Karmeon sit back up and seeing Pekome sort of backing away and that Mayra is peppering it with arrows, the snake is going to probably turn and try to slither away into the undergrowth, the darkness.
So we're just going to spend both turns
Pin it.
rustling off into the darkness.
Not on my watch.
Hey, Koma?
Oh.
Might have gotten a little excited there, but we can hold that roll for after.
Precarious would rush after.
Okay.
Spend both her movement.
Good. So
Which-
Pekome catches up with the snake, and
She wouldn't be engaged yet though, because she had already used the movement to get out, so she's a movement behind.
Okay.
I think so.
So she isn't caught up yet. She would need another movement to get to it.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. Mary attacks, does 6 damage, which is that much. And go ahead to see if you can pin it. It is test against 0. Yeah. So you do catch the snake, and it is unable to move.
Yeah.
Mayor Snake Hunter.
This arrow just cuts through the shadows and just very solidly thunks into the side of this creature.
Uh-huh.
You hear a hiss in the distance.
And Karmeon,
Yeah, you want to come join the fight?
it is your turn.
So, Karmeon just watches Pekome charge off into the distance.
You
Yeah.
notice 2 arrows, one sticking out of her side and the other sticking in her shoulder.
Yeah, Karmeon is a little concerned that he's being left behind. And he looks
Right
around.
next to you.
And then he sees Mayra. And then he's like, okay. And that's Karmeon's turn.
Does he go back to sleep?
No, he just sits there. He doesn't take the dagger out yet. Either.
Out of his gut. Right. So it's now the Kanaran's turn.
It is, and it is pinned, so it is. It tries to move, so it'll try to move again with its second action. So if you could roll that same test again.
We can do it, Stella, I believe.
Yes. No.
God damn it, Stella.
Okay. So the snake breaks free from the piercing arrow and continues to slither away in the darkness. That makes it Pekome's turn. You are 2 moves away, so you can get it.
Alright. She's going after it.
Okay. So if you have closed in range, it will provoke an attack of opportunity when it tries to move again.
Yes.
It is Mayura's turn.
Can Mayra
As
still
is
see
she's
it?
yeah, because that thing's far off now.
Mayra, you can kind of make it out, but it is little more than a vague impression in the darkness at this point. More as
If
a
I-
reference.
Move and shoot, would it be easier?
It would be easier. You will take an extra -1 to your attack, but you can try to
Maybe-
attack it after moving.
Maybe just move twice and don't shoot.
Why are we
maybe
chasing this thing?
to kill it so it doesn't come back.
Maybe we should just move camp. Well, Maida is... Pekome's going after it, so Maida's gonna go after it too.
And
Maida changes her mind. She will move over
just
to
give me bandages and go.
Karmeon.
You took all our bandages.
Yeah, my body took all the bandages.
Mm.
Maida doesn't really know what to do. She gives you...
A pat
Basically-
on the back.
Yeah, basically Maida's not gonna do a combat action here.
Okay.
She's just gonna, like, pat him on the head.
The Kanaran will use acrobatics
Try and break out.
to roll quick.
If it gets
To,
out of if it gets out of this at this point, I'd say Pekome loses it.
Yeah, okay. So it rolls against quick, just its own quick. So that's going to be a 14. So it does. It manages to deftly avoid any attack that Pekome lashes out and slithers away into the darkness.
Yeah, not being familiar in bushcraft or having night vision, Pekome can't follow after it for very far.
Okay. And that is the turn. That's the combat, rather.
She'll make her way back. See, this is why both of you are on the horses.
We should go.
She's gonna turn to Maira.
What?
Can you not shoot me next time? She says,
You-
ripping one of the arrows out.
Maybe if you weren't so big, I wouldn't
So-
hit you.
Sorry, Pekome, she just tears an arrow out. Is that what you said?
That's not
Yes.
how you do that.
Okay.
But that's what she did.
Okay.
Oh,
Yikes.
roll 1d3. And take that much damage.
Oh.
Oh.
That's what she did, boys.
Yeah,
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
she's not necessarily in the most sensible of mindsets right
So-
now, and I think that shows.
So when Pekome does this, Maida doesn't like quip back with a taunt. She just kind of stares and like
Blood starts leaking out of the armor.
she just recoils from you. And she looks down at Karmeon.
Yeah. Karmeon's gonna extract dagger, apply pressure, and bind wound.
Okay.
Just rip it out like I did.
Maida will like grab your pack and drag it over and help you, but not really do anything but what you tell her to do, basically.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Are we considering this a new day?
So it's still the middle of the night right now, and for the purposes, like you'll still be able to recover a stat point after the night ends.
Right. So it was more that like Karmeon can't do a check on me or Mayura yet.
Oh yes, that is
Not till
correct. It has not
morning.
changed the day yet.
Yeah.
In terms of that, I mean, you can do the rolls right now. Like that's fine. They would just count for the next day in terms of having used it already.
All right, Karmeon, give us 3 more rolls. Remember,
Yeah.
you start with you, then Mayura, then me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Karmeon will just sort of sit there in pain until it's dawn-ish. You know, just that sort of shock state of like, I was fine. I was fine. I was asleep. I was warm.
Everything was fine, and then Snake.
Everything was fine. And then suddenly, for at least 30 seconds, I'm being wrapped in the warm embrace of a snake, eaten on with the flat side of an unholy artifact of ancient
Hey,
Symbar,
at least she threw the snake off of you.
and nearly getting shot with an arrow. Like, just
But you're fine.
on top of actually, the first thing that happened was nearly getting my head chopped off from the ancient artifact of Symbar. Yeah, Karmeon is going to think about his life for at least like an hour straight.
Yeah.
And then he'll get up and tend to everyone one by one.
Karmeon,
Okay.
why do snakes like you so much?
I don't know. They're neat.
Oh, you failed Pekome for once.
Yeah.
Which means Mayor is gonna get 4.
Nope.
You said we do get the 1 stat point from the rest?
Yep. Yeah, you'll still get a night's rest after that, assuming that anyone sleeps.
Hmm.
Yeah, Maida will go back to sleep.
Would you consider this a new scene?
Yes, your temporary corruption would be gone at this point.
Right. So then with that, Mayra still like pretty corrupted, like, but she's not as on the brink,
Mhm.
and the aggression she was feeling is mostly gone,
Yeah.
and instead it's sort of like twisted her viewpoint to where instead of wanting just a general fire, it's changed into more of like a desire, like a burning desire to protect those around her at any cost,
Okay.
even if it might be through less than honorable means.
Oh, I
Ooh.
see. I like it. Sounds good.
Maida just went to bed, took a nap, and recovered a point of resolute.
And then we were on the road.
Yes.
We're on the road again.
So you have basically, we'll say 2 days of travel to cover here.
That means 2 more combats.
No.
Hopefully not. So Meira, as the tracker and pathfinder for this party, go ahead and roll discreet at
I love
neutral.
how there's a mechanic where like the discrete roll is supposed to get harder the longer we go without a fight.
We haven't really gotten past the -2, have we?
Listen, my discreet's 11. That's close to a 50% chance.
It's a
It is.
55%.
It is. It absolutely is.
Look,
so
I'm
go
just
ahead and roll 1d20.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, it's been more than a coin flip.
You know,
Great,
I just
love
want to
this.
remind everyone, running away is an option.
Who runs away?
People
Yeah,
who
I mean, running
survive.
away is an option.
Look, you only run away
Right.
from ghosts and snakes. If
Okay.
you're Karmeon.
I'd
So
like
the
to
next day,
remind everyone we have horses too.
Yeah.
has everyone
horses.
done their recovery? I know Mayra mentioned it, but did
Yeah,
the
Karmeon has.
rest of you did?
Pick 'em. It took 1 health back. She can
Same.
now take 2. Is it equal your toughness or over it that knocks you out?
So the official way is to reduce to 0.
So up to.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think equal to is what it would be.
Because that would be, for me, 14 total
Yep.
points.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she can take exactly 2 damage.
God,
Nice.
you're the walking wounded right now. Holy smokes. So the next day you travel for about half the day in relative quiet. You're each probably somewhat absorbed with the pain of existing at this point.
I don't
And
like
moments
snakes.
later, a rustling can be heard ahead, and
Both of you get behind me.
Karmeon stops his horse.
Maida stops her horse?
Question mark? She keeps going into the rustling?
No?
the foliage ahead is dense and tall, and you can see that it begins to shake and tremble. And then all of a sudden,
It's 2
a
rage
creature
rolls.
on 4 legs breaks through the clearing. And it's a wild shape of a heavy creature shaped like a boar but sized up considerably. It has 2 long tusks that curl out from either side of its snout. This is a mythical giant swine, and Mayra and Karmeon would both certainly recognize it immediately as an abor, or a boar. I'm not really sure how you say that, to be honest.
Sounds a bit boorish to me.
Oof.
Huh.
It stands as tall as Pekome, I would say. It is.
How
is
large is
certainly
it
no
relative to a
wild
bear?
boar. In terms of total mass, this would be larger than
Larger.
a black bear or something like that. Yeah.
Yo, have you
That's-
seen pigs?
That's
They are
mass.
pigs are just like all flesh and like they
Yeah.
are stocky.
And this
boars,
is like a
boars
wild
kill a lot of
boar,
people.
but much larger because it has an A in front of it.
Well, I mean, what is it?
A large boar. A boar.
Oh, okay, no, that was an off.
I mean, of
You all
course it's a
die.
boar. There's only one of it.
Oh my god, I hate all of you. I hate all of you
Hey.
so much.
We're starting
What?
this year off strong.
You have made awful jokes as well.
True.
There are no clean hands in this party. What's Pickome's vigilance?
10.
Okay.
She's perfectly
so
average.
She will go before the boar. Yes.
Be
So
boar?
this, yeah, this large creature with beady, black, and seemingly quite intelligent eyes stares at you with a look of utter hostility.
Mayor Karmeon, you know
Yeah?
anything about this?
Yeah? Go.
Go how?
Away.
You two have the horses, and you two are almost dead. If you're gonna go ahead, and I'll catch up.
Of what we know about Abors,
Mm-hmm.
are they aggressive to like pursue people?
How territorial is it?
Yeah, like
So these creatures are extremely territorial. It's difficult to discern that much about these creatures because they are known to be somewhat corrupt just by nature, which makes them difficult to survive for a lot of people. That said, they aren't necessarily, I mean, they are in a sort predators, like they can eat people, but they're more territorial creatures. If they were to fight you, it would be because you were trespassing more so than they were hunting you.
okay.
However, it's difficult to know exactly what the line of its territory might be, and if you're on its territory, it would certainly attack, right? If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Meira will quickly dismount her horse and tell Picome to take it, and she'll start scrambling towards Karmeon's horse.
Karmeon offers a hand.
Meira will jump on the back.
Well, first off, we have a turn order.
Oh. Right.
Do we?
Yes.
Well,
I mean, yeah, but
Meira announces her plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and say that you're doing that. That's fine.
Okay.
wait, is Mayor really that slow?
What?
She's more calculating than finesse.
Mayor, are you so slow?
Oh, hey, I had to pick what my priorities, and they were I want to shoot well and I want to see well. Look at
I
my
talk-
5 persuasive, man.
I talk well and strong well.
Karmeon, think.
My cunning is 5.
So the abort does start charging the three of you as you're
Mhm.
kind of jostling around and shifting mounts.
Who is it? I would assume it would be charging me because I'm on the ground. At the before.
So right now it is really just charging the group of you.
Okay.
It's a little difficult to tell who for. Karmeon, what's up?
I don't know. What's up with you?
It's your turn.
Yeah. So Karmeon gets his gets his parrying dagger out because that's free.
Okay. Is he still mounted at this point?
Yeah. No, Karmeon's not getting off the fucking horse.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. No. God no. Karmeon does not get off the fucking horse. And
Does he start moving like Picome told him to?
So Mayra wants to, trade horses. So Karmeon will head away, like diagonally, so that maybe Mayra can run. No, like getting yourself in a. You
So-
gotta move laterally away from.
So you're gonna do that
boar.
car thing where whenever Mayura gets close, you just move the horse forward a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta move
Bam.
laterally away from the boar because it's just gonna charge and it's gonna be real fast.
Right. Okay.
So,
So
yeah,
Karmeon
laterally
is
away,
pulling out his parrying dagger and sort of laterally moving away from
Yeah.
the boar. Okay.
but slowly.
Hey, Kome.
All right. Being an Ambrian, Kevin, what's a boar?
Yeah. So she doesn't really know much about these creatures. A boar is
Yeah, I know it's a boar, but what's a boar?
It's what you get pork from.
Hey, Kome has a heart attack.
Alright. Do we know if the horse can carry my weight?
It can.
Alone.
It can. These horses are made to carry a considerable amount of weight.
These horses were made for walking. Alright, so she'll try to get onto the horse.
Okay. She manages that. The boar closes the distance. It is charging forward. It is.
Would
kinda
she
doing this
also
deep-
be able to draw her shield?
Or
Or would you say that takes both?
I think being armored, it probably takes a bit of concentration. You can roll quick to see if you're able to pull the shield out. Kind of after. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Oh, right on the money.
Last second.
Very nice. Yeah, so she manages to kind of pull the shield out. The Abor charges the group. It is still closing the distance. It doesn't quite reach you, but it is nearing you. It kind of moves off at a little bit of an angle, almost opposite direction that Karmeon is going. And it shakes its head a little and is releasing this low animalistic grunting. Mayra.
Ada jumps on the horse.
All right. So how I know you said slowly, Karmeon, but like how slowly is this happening right now? The horse
70
movement?
miles per hour.
Slowly, in the sense that someone who's running away from a boar can catch you.
Yeah.
Not slowly in the sense that someone who was casually strolling away from.
Okay. Yeah.
a boar could
So
catch you.
Mayra can certainly catch up.
Yes.
Let's have a quick test to see whether she can like jump up and like grab Karmeon and stay on the horse.
Yeah,
Oh
this is
my God.
Look, she's an acrobat. This is what she was made for.
Oh,
Wow, very nicely done. Okay.
heck yeah.
Yeah,
Mayra
Mayra,
just jumps in front of him and takes the
Ada is
reins.
nimble as a cat.
yeah, she just springs up, perfectly catches onto the horse, doesn't apply too much force at all. It isn't spooked, it doesn't startle, and she's mounted with Karmeon, and they can continue fleeing away. Speaking of, it is Karmeon's turn.
Karmeon doesn't really have any experience with horse,
Mm-hmm.
so he just shakes the reins and go, and maybe probably actually the other thing he tries to do is kick his heels back into the horse's flanks, which means he just harshly kicks Mayor in the shin.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
how you get it to rear up and knock you both off.
So, fortunately, the horse doesn't need much encouragement. It is very frightened by
Yeah.
this charging Abor, and it just goes. It starts galloping away. Pekome.
Goodbye, Pekome.
Being raised in a noble house, Pekome knows how to ride horses. Not necessarily through the forest, but
In general, yeah, she's familiar.
Not even necessarily in the street while battling either.
more
Just,
more
you
like
know.
more like a trotting show.
Yeah.
But
So, did she take off after the other two?
yes.
Okay, great.
The Abor pursues, but it doesn't seem to be closing the distance. It occasionally moves to one side or the other to sort of charge forward and steer the horse's flight a little bit. And then
It's not a
before long...
cow.
Sorry?
Said it's not a cow.
I just... uh, and
You've successfully
before
made him
long,
speechless.
it slows and merely watches as the trio of you launch off into the distance and presumably vacate its territory. And that'll end the encounter with the Abor. And unfortunately, none the worse for wear. The party continues on.
Excellent.
We'll sort of quickly spin through the next night, in which case nothing happens, but you can have another stat point, and if Karmeon wants to take care of some people, you can process
I call
this roll
dibs on being healed
fast.
first this time.
Gib.
Being healed last is the worst.
Okay. Karmeon does this in order of height. Tallest first.
Okay, so that's Pekome.
Then Mayra. Then Karmeon.
Oh, he crit
Ooh.
healed himself. Baby.
Nice.
Alright, so Pekome gets 1, Mary gets 3, Karmeon gets 1.
Well, are you going to confirm your crit heal? Maybe you get 2.
Oh, should I?
Yeah, sure.
Nope.
Nope.
Nice try, though.
Yes. Whole 7 points of health.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Fantastic. So you get through the night, you have a morning of recovery, and you have one more full day of travel to get back to Thistlehold. Mayra, go ahead and roll a flat discreet to see how quiet the journey back is.
It is so discreet, so quiet, quiet as a mouse.
All right. There you go.
We're in the
Yeah.
timeline.
So this is by now somewhat familiar terrain. You've been on this stretch of forest time and time again, just in the last week or so. And Mayra knows the landscape, knows how to guide the group, and manages to avoid any undue threats along the way.
Leads
does-
us past the cultist table on our way back.
Does she?
No.
No. Okay. No, she doesn't. And towards the end of the day, it is growing dark before you reach Thistlehold, but as the light begins to darken, you see an orangish plume on the horizon that is surely the massive tower in Thistlehold for that specific purpose. And as you hone in on the beacon, we will draw the session to a close with our bedraggled trio of adventurers returning to the gates of
So
the settlement.
does that mean we're finally allowed to spend all of our XP?
Yes.
Oh.
Motherfucker, how much XP we get?
Oh yeah,
Oh
we
my
haven't
God.
gotten it for like 2 seconds.
Okay, we
Yeah,
can
so-
we can we can
You
talk
have a
about
pretty-
XP off stream.
Yes, okay.
I would like
No,
to
the viewers want to know too.
Oh my god. It is time
Alright.
for bed. Thank you, Kevin, so much for another super awesome session. Really appreciate it.
We appreciate you, Kevin.
Appreciate.
Yeah, I'd say the same, but there have been so many awful jokes.
I
But
mean,
I'm
if you
looking
would
for
let
a
us
new
leave
party.
the forest sooner.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. So we'll do some real quick shout outs and then we will go see if there's anybody we can raid. We'll start off with Kory. Is there anything you'd like to tell our friends?
Don't do it, Kory.
No. I mean, like, why am I first? I'm not prepared.
You're first, that way we get it over nice and quick.
I want to know how much XP. You can find me at twitch.tv/
so
how
don't
much
do it.
fucking XP did we get?
Thank you. Next we have Vertigo Cross.
Hi. I'm the other streamer in this group. You can catch me on Thursdays and Saturdays. I stream a variety of games, and then on Mondays, when things calm down a bit, Stella and I like to do MMM, where we play saucy games with saucy commentary.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Obdurant.
Hello,
kinda least.
I'm Obdurant. I am the DM for the Symbaroum campaign, and I like to hang out in Stella's server and play lots of Destiny. That's about it.
Yes, we do have an active Destiny 2 community in our Discord. If you like Destiny 2, if you want to get in on some of the games that we play, the raids that we organize, all you have to do is join the Discord and we can link you up. We basically play Destiny every day, like literally every day. We just Destiny it all up, and we would be very happy to play with you. Have you come join us. Yeah.
Hey, Stella.
Yeah.
Why did the football coach go to the bank?
Why?
To get his quarterback.
Wow. Banned. Where's the ban button?
Hey, stream.
Okay, I'm gonna
Why is 2019 afraid of 2020?
Oh my god. Take us off.
All right.
Take us
Because they
off.
had a fight in 2021.
All right, I'm going to do a few shout outs. I want to say thank you so much to all of our friends that have supported us today. Y'all are super, super awesome. I want to say, Logix, thank you so much for the raid and the sub. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you had a great stream, and thank you for bringing your friends here. CC G Brain, thank you for the follow. Wavy, thank you for the follow. Sir Cletus the Fourth, thank you for the follow. Wu-Tang Piglet, thank you for the follow. Runaway Robot, thank you so much for the raid of 12. The Maraharashi, thank you so much for the follow. And Death by Mage, thank you so much for the follow. Friends, I want to say Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate y'all. If you want to see more of the content that we have here, we do Symbaroum every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a Swedish dark fantasy gothic TTRPG that we do. We do have various kinds of TTRPGs in our community as well, such as Dungeons and Dragons. As the month goes on, we're going to be organizing more games, so if you want to play in a D&D game, definitely consider joining the Discord. That way you can be there and you can sign up and play with us if you want. Otherwise, we do Destiny. We're going to have a Destiny raid tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. And we'll be playing some more video games here on Monday night. Vertigo Cross and I will be doing Mixed Monday Madness. Yeah, and that's all of that for...